Chapter 965, I want to see just how you will kill me. Chapter 965, I want to see just how you will kill me. Although a lot of people wanted this blood mobility technique, his price was too high. Not even nascent soul state cultivators could afford half-step extreme spirit artifacts, much less golden core state cultivators. This exchange failed, so the people afterwards started requesting reasonable bids. Despite this, most of the requests were still at a higher value than the item itself. Most cultivators habitually looked over at Yimo, but after that first deal, Yimo hadn't made a sound. As the gathering progressed, all sorts of spirit-level cultivation methods, top-grade spirit artifacts, spirit herbs, ores, puppets and so on were taken out for exchange, but there were very little pills. For golden core state cultivators, pills were very precious. Yimo saw a few herbs and ores he liked too, but he didn't buy them. He wasn't there to make a scene. He had come for the Dulan Chun Xiao. But halfway through the gathering, he still hadn't seen it yet. Just when Yimo was worried and wanted to ask Li Jingwen, he saw Sun Huchang walk up to an old man and whisper something in his ears. The old man was at Golden Core State Level 8, and his face changed into surprise and joy after Sun Huchang's words, but he immediately suppressed that expression. Yimo's heart sunk. He had a bad feeling. At this moment, 2 more people made an exchange, and the next one was that Golden Core State Level 8 old man. The old man saluted with his fists and said, "I'm Mingyu Jiang. I'll be trading 2 things today. First is a blue moon ore, second is 10 Dulan Chuan Xiao." Yimo heard the words Dulan Chun Xiao and became focused. Li Jingwen pushed him in reaction too. He couldn't let someone take it. But at this moment, Mingyu Jiang said, "I want to trade for 1 crisp green vine and 1 spirit crystal." Everyone was shook when the old man said this. The blue moon ore was just an aesthetic item. It could be made into exquisite jewelry. It had a warm sky blue light that calmed the mind, but it had no benefits for cultivation. All the people there were there to increase their power. Who would want such a decorational ore? As for the Dulan Chun Xiao, it was even worse. It couldn't be added to a pill and was only a level 3 spirit herb. It was just rare and had some potency for mental conditions. Its help was limited though, since it couldn't be added to a pill. A blue moon ore and 10 Dulan Chun Xiao, how dare he ask for the crisp green vine? But that was the price, it was up to you if you wanted to trade it. Everyone looked at Yimo. Clearly, this old man was targeting Yimo. Yimo calmed down. He understood what was going on. Sun Huchang had guessed that the reason why he came to the gathering today was for the Dulan Chun Xiao. After all, it was beneficial for mental conditions, and he knew that this old man had Dulan Chun Xiao. So, he told Mingyu Jiang to ask for the crisp green vine, seeing that Yimo seemed willing to give everything for Su Jingwen. Yimo didn't make a bid, though. He had to get the Dulan Chun Xiao, but he wasn't impulsive. In fact, Yimo would be willing to trade all of his crisp green vines for the Dulan Chun Xiao without hesitation. But the key thing was, if he took out another crisp green vine, he would be facing an extra round of hunting. If he could take out 2, it meant he had a third. Everyone looked at Yimo, hoping he would take out another crisp green vine. Yimo said coldly, "I don't have any more crisp green vines, but I believe you know I need the Dulan Chun Xiao desperately, and that's why you asked for it. If you're willing, I have 2 other options. One is to give you the top-grade flying spirit artifact. The second is to give you 5 blue wen pills and my last spirit crystal. Choose your option." Although everyone was disappointed to hear that Yimo had no more crisp green vines, they realized how desperate Yimo was for the Dulan Chun Xiao. But one thing was for sure, this cultivator didn't have any more crisp green vines. Even if he did, he wasn't willing to take one out. Mingyu Jiang was shaking with excitement. He didn't think his items would trade for so many pills. Just when he wanted to answer, he was pushed by Sun Huchang. Mingyu Jiang woke up from his excitement and knew that even if he asked for more, Yimo would still trade. Clearly, Sun Huchang hadn't tricked him. He said, "I just want crisp green vines, but if you really don't have it, then you can combine your 2 options." Not just Yimo, but everyone else at the scene was cursing at Mingyu Jiang's greed. Merely 10 level 3 spirit herbs, and he dared ask for a top-grade spirit artifact and 5 blue when pills and a spirit crystal. Was he mad? Usually, 10 Dulan Chun Xiao wouldn't even be worth 1 blue when pill, yet he was asking for such an exaggerated price. Yimo held back his anger. If it wasn't that they were in the middle of a gathering, he would want to kill Ming Yujiang right away. But in order to save Su Jingwen, he had to agree. Even the spirit recovery pill she had taken was far more expensive than this price. Just when Yimo wanted to agree, he heard a voice in his head, "Little brother, I have Dulan Chun Xiao but only 8. Is that enough? I don't have the blue moon or either. If you agree, I only need 3 blue wen pills." Yimo heard this and knew it was the sister Lian who had helped him before speaking. He rejoiced and immediately answered her telepathically, "Okay, I'll take it. 8 is enough for me." He only had 1 spirit attraction grass, yet he had managed to add it to a pill at the tournament. 8 was more than enough for him to practice. "Okay, in that case, after the gathering, I will wait for you in the Chang Park, 300 kilometers to the east of the city," Big Sister Lian said with joy. 3 blue wen pills would be enough for her to reach the Golden Core State peak stage. "Brother Mo, this price is too excessive, and the Dulan Chun Xiao being able to help is just a theory we have. We don't know if it will work," Li Jingwen reminded Yimo, fearing that he would agree on impulse. Yimo smiled. "Brother Li is right, I'm too careless." Then Yimo said to Ming Yujiang, "Dao friend Ming's items are too expensive. I can't afford them, you should find someone who can." Hearing this, everyone breathed in a sigh. This was normal. Everyone subconsciously didn't want such an unfair trade to be made. "How can that be? Didn't you just say it's very important to you? How can you suddenly not proceed with the trade?" Ming Yujiang couldn't accept such a sudden loss and screamed out. In his desperation, he forgot that it was Sun Huchang who told him this. Yimo sneered, "Why not? I don't want to trade, do you want to force the trade?" Ming Yujiang just realized that Yimo really didn't want to trade, and he immediately began to worry. Everyone looked at Ming Yujiang and laughed. This guy was too greedy and caused the buyer to change his mind. "Let's do as you asked before then, 5 blue wen pills and 1 spirit crystal," Ming Yujiang quickly said. Yimo just shut his eyes and couldn't even be bothered to talk to this Ming Yujiang. Ming Yujiang became more and more desperate. "Do you want to break the rules of the gathering? A mere Golden Core State Level 2 cultivator made a bid and now wants to go back on it. Do you think I won't kill you? Very well, I want to see just how you will kill me." Yimo suddenly got up. His bleak killing intent spread over the entire hall. Even some Golden Core State peak stage cultivators felt cold and thought, "This Golden Core State Level 2 cultivator has such dense killing intent. How many beasts and people has he killed?" Ming Yujiang's temperament was nothing compared to Yimo. Chapter 966, Follow. Chapter 966, Follow Ming Yujiang. "How come I heard you're the one breaking the rules of the social? Do you think that I can't kill you?" Jiao was already unhappy with Ming Yujiang asking for high prices. Plus, he got something from Yimo too. He traded his top-grade flying spirit artifact for the crisp green vine, but this Ming Yujiang still dared to threaten people during an exchange. Ming Yujiang saw Jiao come out and threaten him and immediately looked down. He was inwardly very unsatisfied, but he had no choice but to take a seat. Sun Huchang didn't think Yimo really wasn't going to have the Dulan Chun Xiao. This wasn't what he expected, he wasn't able to sabotage Yimo. But when he heard Yimo had the blue wen pill, his hatred for him grew. He finally understood why Li Jingwen asked for the blue wen herbs back. He had been trading blue wen pills with this Golden Core State Level 2. He had to kill this Golden Core State Level 2 or else he would feel unsatisfied. He would ask for Ming Yujiang to help him later. Even with Li Jingwen standing on his side, they would win for sure. Even though he was going to kill Yimo later, he didn't want to let Yimo off now either. "Dao friend Jiao, Dao friends here today." That Golden Core State Level 2 clearly said that Dao friend Ming can choose one of the 2 options, but now he says he doesn't want it. Is this not challenging our social rule? Then, he looked at Yimo and said, "You're a mere Golden Core State Level 2 and you dare to challenge the rules of our social. Even if other people will let you go, I won't let you go." Even though I'm a spirit pill master and am not good at combat, I still demand justice. Sun Huchang was reminding others that Yi Mo was only Golden Core State Level 2 and he was Golden Core State Level 7 and a spirit pill master, trying to force them to choose sides. No one who cultivated until Golden Core State was dumb, and they could understand what Sun Huchang meant. Some people didn't think they would need help from Sun Huchang, but no one wanted to offend a spirit pill master for something irrelevant. Even Jiao Juren didn't speak out this time. Yi Mo looked at Sun Huchang and said coldly, "Scum, show me what you have." He didn't bother explaining anything. How could Sun Huchang resist such an insult? He was about to stand up and speak again. But that big sister Lian said coldly, "Son, you're just a shabby level 6 spirit pill master, what's there to show off about? Anyways, what has this even got to do with you?" Ming Yu Jiang was unhappy with the bid and already rejected it clearly. "Are you deaf? Or do you think everyone else here is deaf? The Dao friend opposite you called you a scum, I think even scum is much better than you." Sun Huchang's face turned green, but he didn't dare to rage at big sister Lian. She was much more powerful than him. Truly, a level 6 spirit pill master really wasn't much. He had a lot of friends because he knew how to concoct pills, but his level of friends wasn't too high. If he was a level 7 spirit pill master, this woman wouldn't speak to him like this. Big sister Lian's words brought a wave of sneers. Everyone knew that after this, Ming Yu Jiang and Sun Huchang weren't going to let go of that Golden Core State Level 2 cultivator, but no one cared. Sun Huchang sat down reluctantly. He wanted to charge over and kill Yi Mo immediately, but he had to wait till the social ended. The social continued. There were a few more things that Yi Mo wanted, but he didn't bid at all. He knew that although he only bid twice, he had shown too much and couldn't bid anymore. The social ended quickly due to the first deal being too good and people being unable to get what they wanted. Sun Huchang didn't see Li Jingwen take out the blue when Herb and wanted to kill Yi Mo even more. When it was just daybreak, the cultivator left Miaoxiong Tower. He was going to say goodbye to Li Jingwen when he said, "Brother Yi, I don't have any place to go now, if you don't mind, I'll follow you." Yi Mo knew what Li Jingwen was thinking. He was worried that Ming Yu Jiang and Sun Huchang would ambush him. But another reason was that he was a pill king. If he followed a pill king, his future would certainly be bright. Yi Mo trusted Li Jingwen's character and said, "Brother Li, you know I'm hiding from people. The power that is hunting me is bigger than you can imagine. If you stay with me, it might bring misfortune to you." Li Jingwen laughed, "Brother Yi, if I don't even have this little courage, I don't deserve to stay with a pill king. With my talent, even if I reach Golden Core State peak stage, it would be very hard for me to reach nascent soul state. I might as well follow Brother Yi." "Okay." Yi Mo nodded. "Brother Li, I was planning to go to Pei Hai City, but Big Sister Li told me telepathically to deal with the Dulan Chun Xiao outside the city. If you've decided to fight for a future with me, then we'll go to Pei Hai City separate ways. I have too many enemies, so be careful." Li Jingwen nodded. "Okay, in that case, I will go with you to deal the Dulan Chun Xiao first. I suspect Ming Yu Jiang and Sun Huchang aren't just going to leave. After you get the Dulan Chun Xiao, we'll split up and meet in Pei Hai City." The two walked around Ganshore City for a while and came to the small garden 300 kilometers east of the city. Big sister Lian had long been waiting there. She saw Yi Mo and Li Jingwen arrive and smiled, taking out a big jade box for Yi Mo. Yi Mo liked this straightforwardness. He checked the box and found there were indeed 8 Dulan Chun Xiao inside, upon which he immediately put it away. He took out another jade bottle and a spirit crystal without hesitation. Big sister Lian was dazed and asked, "I just asked for 3 blue when pill, why did you add a spirit crystal?" Yi Mo smiled, "Thank you for helping me twice. This is the price I named before. I don't like going back on my words, so don't mind it, Big Sister Lian." Big Sister Lian heard this and put on a seductive face. "Little brother, you really know how to talk, my bones are going numb hearing this." Yi Mo immediately knew this Big Sister Lian was no saint either. She looked average but knew some seduction methods, but this had nothing to do with him. When she opened it to see that there were 5 blue when pills, she became very happy. But when she saw they were special grade, she couldn't calm down anymore. You're dealing special grade blue when pills? Yimo smiled but didn't mind. Even if this woman had any bad intentions, he was leaving immediately. He was grateful that this woman helped him, but he had other plans for giving her the extra in the form of 2 blue when pills and 1 spirit crystal. Seeing that Yimo only smiled and didn't speak, Big Sister Lian immediately knew that while her goods seemed expensive, Yimo didn't care about them at all. Her interest in this golden core state level 2 was immediately piqued. She smiled seductively. Seeing how you're giving me so much, let Big Sister help you out too. Yimo knew Sun Huchang and Mingyu Jiang were trailing him. He wasn't planning to let Big Sister Lian help nor take out the extra goods, but the third person who came made him change his mind. Chapter 967. This cultivator is too scary. Chapter 967. This cultivator is too scary. Yimo estimated that even Big Sister Lian had only noticed Mingyu Jiang and Sun Huchang. It seemed she hadn't noticed the third person. If she had, she probably would be taking her things and leaving already. If it was only those two, how could Yimo ask someone for help? He could get it done himself. The third person who came was Jin Shi, the Golden Core State Peak Stage cultivator who dared to fight with Zhou Renjiu. Before Big Sister Lian said anything, Yimo saluted with his fists. Thank you for helping, Big Sister Lian. Mo Ying is very grateful. She looked at Yimo with astonishment. You know that Ming and Sun are following you? Big Sister Lian was just bemusedly asking a rhetorical question, so without waiting for an answer from Yimo, she immediately looked a few hundred meters away and said, Come out, stop hiding. I hate sneaky people. A mere Golden Core State Level 7 and Level 8 dare to rob others? It's your bad luck that I'm here. Mingyu Jiang and Sun Hochang's expressions were very bad. They didn't expect this woman to intervene in the matter. With her here, they would lose for sure. Li Jingwen felt very guilty. Both Yimo and Big Sister Lian knew they were being followed, but he didn't. The two were about to leave when suddenly a voice sounded, What if you include me? Other than Yimo, everyone looked over at the voice. It's you, Jin Shi, what are you doing here? Big Sister Lian had a bad feeling. She had the feeling she had been used by this Golden Core State Level 2 fellow. Although she could ignore her shame and leave now, but she was quite a known figure in Shuogan City. It would be too embarrassing to be scared off by Jin Shi like that. Jin Shi didn't mind her words and said calmly, I was interested in this little brother's crisp green vine, but he ignored me. I'm very uncomfortable with that, so if he's willing to apologize and let me check his storage ring, I'll leave immediately. Big Sister Lian looked at Yimo with a troubled look. This would be like slapping his face and killing him. Even a Golden Core State Peak Stage cultivator shouldn't ask a Golden Core State Level 2 cultivator to do that. Yimo sneered as though he didn't hear what Jin Shi said at all. Li Jingwen knew that the big battle couldn't be avoided and took out his magic artifact, standing on Yimo's side. Big Sister Lian had a troubled look. It's not that she didn't want to help Yimo, but she really couldn't beat Jin Shi. Jin Shi was a solo cultivator, but he was renowned for his savagery. Even Zhou Juren didn't want to mess with him. He cultivated a gold element cultivation method and had a top-grade spirit artifact spear that was made with 18 types of metals. Jin Shi said to Mingyu Jiang and Sun Huchang, Help me a little, I can give you 30% of the kid's storage ring. Brother Jin, what are you saying? I have feud with that little punk anyways, it's my duty to help Brother Jin, Sun Huchang immediately said. Although he couldn't get all of Yimo's wealth, even 15% was enough for him. He could tell that this Golden Core State Level 2 cultivator was very wealthy. Yimo looked at Big Sister Lian and suddenly said, If you can help me stop this Jin scum for 8 minutes, I'll be very grateful. I don't need you to be involved any more than that. Big Sister Lian heard this and immediately said, Okay, I can do that. Although I'm no match for him, I can still stall him for that long. Jin Shi heard that a Golden Core State Level 2 dared to call him scum and immediately felt the same rage Sun Huchang felt before. He waved his hand, and a faint red spirit artifact spear appeared in his hands. Then he attacked Yimo with blood-red killing intent. Before the spear could reach Yimo, Big Sister Lian blocked it with a spirit artifact shield. Jin Shi didn't say anything and attacked Big Sister Lian. Yimo said to Li Jingwen, Brother Li, stall Ming Yujiang. I'm going to kill Sun Huchang, this scum, first. Yimo wanted to kill this guy the most. If it wasn't for this guy, he would have been able to buy Ming Yujiang's Dulan Chun Xiao for the most reasonable price. If that happened, none of this would have happened. Brother Mo, you're just at Golden Core State Level 2. Li Jingwen was worried that Yimo wouldn't be able to deal with Sun Huchang. But Sun Huchang and Ming Yujiang had already charged up towards Yimo, clearly both wanting to kill Yimo to ease their fury. Li Jingwen didn't have time to talk, and he could only stop Ming Yujiang, who was slightly stronger, and watch Sun Huchang attack Yimo. Sun Huchang was a very ordinary Golden Core State Level 7 fighter. Yimo waved his hand, and Zishu appeared. At the same time, an illusion cloud essence binding strike was chopped out. When Sun Huchang saw Yimo use a kitchen knife spirit artifact, he was stunned. This shouldn't be, right? This guy was so wealthy, how could he use such a trash magic artifact? Before he could think too much, though, he felt that his cultivation essence was bound. He was shook and immediately knew things weren't good. This guy was no Golden Core State Level 2 fighter, he was clearly stronger than him. Sun Huchang was sweating, and his only thought was to escape Yimo's bind and run away. When Sun Huchang wasn't able to break free, he burned his essence blood without hesitation and broke free from the bind. But as soon as he broke free, the second strike came, Illusion Cloud Division Strike. Countless sword rays came pouring over him. Despair appeared in Sun Huchang's eyes. What sort of person was this? How did he have such a terrifying sword technique and enormous cultivation essence? If he got another chance, he would rather suck up to Yimo than stop him. This was suicide. Sun Huchang only had time to release a shield, but before he could even insert cultivation essence into it, he was consumed by Yimo's purple sword rays. Blood and flesh flew all over the sky. Yimo didn't show any mercy. Yimo sneered. He had overestimated this Sun Huchang. He only used 2 moves, and he was dead. Yimo didn't stop there, he waved Zishu and used the Illusion Cloud Division Strike again. It covered the heavens as it swept towards Ming Yujiang this time. More and more sword rays appeared as they flew towards him. Ming Yujiang was only a little bit stronger than Li Jingwen, so he was caught up by Li Jingwen already. He wasn't too worried at first as he believed Sun Huchang would help him after he killed that Golden Core State Level 2 cultivator. However, what awaited him wasn't help but endless purple sword rays. As they quickly completely enveloped him, his heart sunk rock bottom. He was tricked. This was no Golden Core State Level 2 fighter at all. If he were, he wouldn't be able to kill Sun Huchang so easily and release such powerful sword rays. Ming Yujiang now felt like his threat to kill Yimo had been too ridiculous. He should have been alerted when he felt this cultivator's intense killing intent, but he was blinded by greed. He wanted to stop the sword ray but couldn't break free from Li Jingwen. Before he could even regret, his head was sliced off and fell tens of meters away. His eyes were still wide open in disbelief that he had just died like that. It was less than a minute and Yimo had killed both Sun Huchang and Ming Yujiang. Jin Shi and Big Sister Lian stopped their fight subconsciously. They both looked at Yimo in shock. Even they wouldn't be able to kill a Golden Core State Level 7 opponent in such a short time, much less 2 of them. This Golden Core State Level 2 cultivator was too scary. Chapter 968, Heading to Pay High. Chapter 968, Heading to Pay High. You're not a Golden Core State Level 2 cultivator. Jin Shi looked at Yimo with shock and concern as he gripped his spear tighter. Yimo raised his Zishu and said, I've killed quite a few Golden Core State Peak Stage cultivators. Since you dare to look for trouble with me, why ask for my power level? This doesn't have much to do with you. Big Sister Lian, move aside. Thanks for helping, I will do the rest. Big Sister Lian woke up from her shock and showed a seductive smile. Little brother Mo, you really know how to act. Even I was tricked. You probably already knew Jin Shi came when I offered to help you. Yimo was getting goosebumps from her current voice and quickly said, those 2 guys are too weak, I didn't even use my full power and they were done for. I just hope this Jin fellow doesn't disappoint me. Then, Yimo turned to Jin Shi and said slowly, I'll fulfill your wish to fight me now. As for the crisp green vine, it's not that I won't give it to you, but even if I gave it you, you wouldn't be able to use it. But unexpectedly, Jinsha heard this and saluted with his fists to Yi Mo. Dao friend Mo, I didn't know you were at the Golden Core State peak stage. Please forgive me for my crossing the line. As compensation, I'm willing to give you a middle-grade spirit artifact. Then he reached out, and a dark ruler-shaped magic artifact appeared in his hand. It was a fake universal ruler. He had a strong sense of threat after seeing Yi Mo instantly kill Sun Huchang. He wasn't necessarily scared of Yi Mo, but clearly Yi Mo was stronger than him. With Lian Yuji on the side, he would get injured for sure, if not die. He was about to form his nascent soul, how could he get injured now? As Yi Mo saw the universal ruler, he hesitated. In all honesty, he had been wanting to fight a Golden Core State peak stage opponent ever since he reached Golden Core State level 2. He wanted to see how far he could fight a Golden Core State peak stage cultivator without formations or using Shadowless. But he knew today wasn't the best time for battle. He was carrying Su Jingwen after all. If he fought with a Golden Core State peak stage cultivator, he wasn't sure if he could protect her. Seeing Yi Mo's hesitation, Jinsha suddenly said, Dao friend Mo, although I offended you this time, if we actually fought, I might not necessarily lose. Furthermore, now is not a suitable time for you to fight either. Why not just have a truce? Yi Mo glanced coldly at Jinsha and knew that if he wanted to kill him, Jinsha would fight with his life. Knowing that Yi Mo was still hesitating, Jinsha threw the ruler at Yi Mo and said, I'll be leaving. Then, he flew off. Yi Mo didn't chase him. Brother Li, you can have this. Yi Mo gave the ruler to Li Jingwen and took Ming Yujiang's storage ring. He took out the Blue Moon ore and Dulan Chun Xiao and gave the rest to him too. Li Jingwen knew Yi Mo was wealthy, so he didn't reject. Seeing this, big sister Lian said unhappily, Brother Mo, I helped you a lot. When I go back, that Jinsha won't let me go. How could Yi Mo not know what she wanted? He took out Sun Hochang's ring and checked the inside. He took out an extreme-grade spirit stone and then threw the ring to her. The things inside are enough to compensate you. Enjoy secretly laughing it off somewhere. Then, Yi Mo signaled Li Jingwen to leave. Soon, they were gone. Lian Yuji saw Yi Mo take out the extreme-grade spirit stone and then throw everything to her, and she was a little unsatisfied. In her eyes, Sun Hochang's most valuable thing was the extreme-grade spirit stone. But when she checked inside, she found a jade bottle. When she opened it, she saw it contained a soul-forming pill. Her heart skipped rapidly. She didn't expect Sun Huchang to have such pills. This was too unexpected. Did that Mo fellow not find this? Rather than that, this was probably what he meant when he said she could laugh it off somewhere. A Golden Core State Level 2 cultivator didn't even care about the soul-forming pill. How wealthy was he? Yi Mo was definitely no ordinary person and had much more valuable pills on him, but she didn't want to think about that. She had obtained the Blue Wen pills and a soul-forming pill. What she should be worried about now was finding a quiet place to form her soul. Yi Mo was planning to go separately to pay high at first, but Jin Shi and big sister Lian knew that Li Jingwen was with him. Even if they couldn't find Yi Mo, they might find Li Jingwen and follow him to Pei Hai City. Yi Mo had also decided to study Su Jingwen's condition on the flying ship he bought. Someone needed to man the ship, and Li Jingwen was the best choice. This flying ship he bought from Jiorangio was countless times better than his flying pike. It was much bigger and had 3 rooms with a set of living facilities. Its speed was incomparable, and it flew in a much more comfortable way. Yi Mo's spirit controlled the ship and named it the Flying Cloud Ship. The only bad point about it was that its defense was too weak. Yi Mo was no forgery master, but he excelled in formations. He inscribed a few formations on the ship, and its defense was drastically improved. He let Li Jingwen control it after releasing it. He took Su Jingwen inside a room and settled her down before starting to investigate the Dulan Chun Xiao. Li Jingwen chose to go to rather distant places as told by Yi Mo, and so they didn't face any obstructions on the way. Li Jingwen would use his spare time to cultivate, but he didn't disturb Yi Mo. He knew Yi Mo was trying to figure out how to use the Dulan Chun Xiao in a pill. Yimo thought it would be much easier than when he used the spirit attraction grass to make a pill, but Yimo was made to realize 2 days later that he had been too hopeful. Dulan Chun Xiao could be added into a pill, but it would greatly decrease its effects of curing mental conditions. Yimo used up 6 Dulan Chun Xiao and still didn't succeed. Yimo was thanking Ming Yu Jiang in his heart now. If he hadn't brought him 10 more, Yimo would be really worried. The reason why the Dulan Chun Xiao could even be added to a pill at all was thanks to the herb essence whirlpool Yimo had invented, but its potency was still greatly reduced. When he used the spirit attraction grass, this didn't happen, so why did it happen with the Dulan Chun Xiao? The potency of the herb couldn't be kept and would immediately start to dissipate. On the 3rd day, Yimo used up a lot of spirit sense as he needed it to control the whirlpool. When he used the spirit recovery pill, he suddenly thought of the 10,000-year stalagmite marrow. It could be made into spirit recovery pills because it could absorb the potency of other herbs and form a new pill. The reason why the spirit recovery pill worked out was because of how the marrow could fuse the potency of multiple herbs together without any loss of potency. The more Yimo thought, the more he felt like he had a possible solution. It was just that the difference in level between the two items was so high that he didn't think of adding them together before. Just when Yimo was about to try out his new method, the warning card in his room lit up. This warning card was used between him and Li Jingwen. Now that this card lit up, it meant that Li Jingwen was in trouble. Yimo immediately put down his pills and closed the door. Then, he dashed to the head of the ship. Chapter 969, Bandits. Chapter 969, Bandits. Brother Yi, we've been stopped by bandits. Li Jingwen held the universal ruler and said. Yimo saw that their boat had been stopped by another boat. It was a middle-grade flying spirit artifact, but it was much bigger than the flying boat and seemed a lot sturdier. However, it was ugly. Just when Yimo was confused about how such a ship could stop their flying boat, Li Jingwen said, "Sorry Brother Yi, I was so focused on studying the universal ruler that I didn't notice we had been stopped by these bandits." Yimo thought that these bandits probably wanted his ship. Even if Li Jingwen hadn't lost focus, these guys probably would have a way to stop their boat. There were more than bandits aboard the ship. There were also 2 golden core state tertiary stage cultivators. One was golden core state level 9 and the other a golden core state level 7. In addition, there were 3 golden core state middle stage, 5 of the primary stage, and 4 foundation establishment state cultivators. A cloaking formation prevented Yimo's spirit sense from reaching inside. The head golden core state cultivator had messy hair. When he saw Li Jingwen call out to a golden core state level 2 cultivator, he sneered and said coldly, "Leave behind your ship along with your storage rings and I can let you leave." As he said this, a few cultivators from the ship surrounded Yimo's flying cloud ship. Yimo estimated that if these people attacked at the same time, he and Li Jingwen would be no match. But the good thing was that they were on this ship, its agility and speed were such that the bandits' ship couldn't compare. This made Yimo think of a good idea. "Control the ship and escape south," Yimo quickly said to Li Jingwen. This was heard not only by Li Jingwen, but also by the people from the other ship. The golden core state level 9 quickly ordered, "Stop him, don't let him go." Those cultivators with quick reactions had already charged south, ready to stop them. They might not be able to completely stop the ship, but they only needed to slow it down a little. The 4 golden core state cultivators went south. To them, Li Jingwen was the person they needed to be wary of, but he was controlling the ship and letting Yimo pave the way. This was too beneficial for them. Yimo stood at the head of the ship. Before the ship neared those few golden core state cultivators, he released Zishu. He was facing only golden core state primary stage and middle stage cultivators, so he didn't need to worry at all. He cast the illusion cloud division strike, Zishu activated and released countless sword rays that formed a sword veil. The 2 golden core state level 1 cultivators were swept away in this shock, and the 2 golden core state middle stage bandits just barely managed to protect themselves. The cultivator who charged up to stop Yimo stopped quickly, but Yimo didn't stop. He used the second strike. Yimo found that his spirit sense and cultivation essence was far superior to ordinary golden core state middle stage cultivators, so he didn't need to use illusion cloud. This second strike was just an ordinary strike. The golden core state level 4 that just blocked Yimo's sword ray didn't even have time to react before Zishu hacked over. His only thought was, such a fast blade. In just 2 moves, Yimo had killed off 3 of the 4 cultivators who came to stop him. The remaining golden core state middle stage fighters weren't able to stop Yimo's ship no matter what. Just when Li Jingwen was about to break free, Yimo commanded, "Go east." Li Jingwen immediately realized what Yimo's intentions were. Yimo had never planned to escape, he was instead planning to finish off the weaker cultivators and then go kill that golden core state level 9. Thinking about how Yimo had instantly killed 3 golden core state cultivators, Li Jingwen could feel his blood boiling as well. There were 1 golden core state middle stage and 2 golden core state primary stage cultivators here along with 3 foundation establishment state cultivators. This power was enough to hold them up for a bit. But Yimo never intended to run. He released Zishu and used the illusion cloud division strike again as well as the purple eye soul sever to pierce the spirit stones of the golden core state middle stage cultivator. Yimo wanted to test how powerful his purple eye soul sever was in the first level. A purple ray swept over and the foundation establishment state cultivators couldn't resist at all. One of the 2 golden core state primary stage had an arm severed and fled. The golden core state middle stage was disoriented under the purple eye soul sever and was instantly killed off by Yimo's purple sword rays. At this moment, the golden core state level 9 realized that his enemies had never planned to escape. If they really did, they could have just fled from the south side. He thought that if his men could stop the 2, then he could attack them, but the reality was that he never had a chance to attack. As Yimo killed more people, the bearded cultivator was furious. He now knew that Yimo was at least of his caliber, or else he wouldn't have been able to kill golden core state primary stage cultivators so easily. When Yimo wanted to kill more, he was stopped by that golden core state level 7 and level 9. Yimo wasn't worried now. He used his lightning battle to kill many golden core state cultivators. Now there was just 1 more golden core state middle stage and 2 golden core state primary stage opponents left. Yimo ignored those foundation establishment state cultivators. One of the golden core state primary stage cultivators was also heavily injured. Yimo was sure he could deal with the 2 golden core state tertiary stage, and Li Jingwen could clean up the remaining people. Because Yimo killed so many of them in such a short amount of time, the golden core state level 9 was adamant on killing Yimo. These people had followed him for a long time. Due to how quickly they got wealthy from robbing others, their cultivation speed was fast. Originally, it was just him and the golden core state level 7 who were in the golden core state in this group and the rest were all foundation establishment state, but after many years of robbing, they had amassed 10 people in the golden core state. Now, half of them had already been killed by Yimo. This meant their team was broken. How could he not be furious? He was also regretful. Their power wasn't overly strong, so they would usually choose their targets carefully before taking action. They had carefully studied the flying cloud boat and only took notice of Li Jingwen. This sort of boat was supposed to be their goat, but now the goat had turned into a fierce tiger. The golden core state level 9 came up and used 4 level 5 runes while releasing 7 flying swords. The level 5 runes couldn't affect Yimo and would at most force him to use some cultivation essence. Yimo knew that the golden core state level 9 didn't expect the runes to do anything. He just wanted to use them to gain the advantage and take the opportunity to attack him with the flying swords. A sword formation? Yimo looked at the 7 flying swords and immediately could tell this cultivator was a tough opponent. His sword formation skills weren't perfect as he had needed to buy time with a few runes. This was the first time Yimo had encountered this opponent, but if it was the second time, he could make sure he wouldn't even have time to set it up. After the sword formation was formed, the golden core state cultivator used a few hand signs and the flying swords left him and surrounded Yimo. Yimo suddenly felt as though he had sunk into mud. He couldn't really move and this mud was filled with sharp knives. Such a powerful sword formation, Yimo thought, using his illusion cloud exert will sword. Other than this move, Yimo couldn't think of another way to defeat the formation. He was sure that with his formation master skills, it wasn't a problem to see through this formation, but he didn't have the time right now. If he hesitated even slightly, he might really be minced by this sword formation. Chapter 970, Powerful Sword Formation. Chapter 970, Powerful Sword Formation. Seeing Yimo trapped in his sword formation, the Golden Core State Level 9 sneered. If his sword formation could be so easily defeated, he would have died many times before. His sword formation wasn't merely a combination of sword rays, there were also some discrete ray combinations. Unless they possessed very strong spirit senses, the discrete rays would be enough to kill any cultivator. He had used this move to kill many cultivators stronger than him. It had never failed him. Creak. Zishu's sword rays clashed with those of the formation. Their cultivation essence barriers were shaking from the remnant sword rays. The Golden Core State cultivator was very surprised to see Yimo release such dense sword rays with a single strike, hitting his sword rays accurately. But he wasn't worried, his sword formation attack had just begun. Yimo's illusion cloud exert will sword was the fusion of sword and will. Wherever his will was directed, the sword ray would arrive. Because his spirit sense was strong, all the sword rays he released were in his spirit sense and so had the ability to find the sword rays from the formation. But after Yimo hacked out with this strike, he felt something was wrong. He didn't have time to think properly, but he trusted his instincts. Quickly, he formed another cultivation essence barrier before he withdrew Zishu. As soon as he did this, he felt a chill. His reaction was rather fast, but a few sword rays he hadn't noticed still pierced through his cultivation essence barrier and struck him. Although he was injured, Yimo immediately ate a cultivation recovery pill and life force pill. Seeing that Yimo's injuries immediately began to heal from his heavily injured state, this Golden Core State Level 9 was very shocked. He immediately knew that this cultivator had a lot of good pills. Thinking about this, he grew even more fervent. In his eyes, Yimo must be a Golden Core State peak stage cultivator. If he had such good pills as well as the precious top-grade flying spirit artifact ship, it meant that he might even have pills that helped in reaching the nascent soul state. If he could get such a pill, it was worth it to lose his brothers. Just when he wanted to attack Yimo again, he found that Yimo instantly left his sword formation. He was shocked, his formation only managed to attack once before Yimo broke free. Although his power was low and he didn't know how to use consecutive attacks, he realized that this cultivator must be experienced in formations. Yimo indeed instantly found the life door of the formation when he got injured and immediately came out. If he didn't get injured, he could stay and study the sword formation, but he wasn't going to take that risk now that he was injured. After coming out, Yimo wanted to check what was it that tricked his spirit sense and injured him, but that Golden Core State Level 7 attacked once more, not giving Yimo a chance to breathe. He used a middle-grade spirit artifact longsword. Yimo was already annoyed that he got hurt. How dare this Golden Core State Level 7 ambush him? He shot a soul spike over without caring if his spirit sense got injured or not. The Golden Core State Level 7 was stunned for a moment, and Zishu brought about a purple veil that sliced off his head. Before he could fall, Yimo had already collected his long sword and storage ring. Then, he ate a spirit recovery pill. The soul spike was effective, but it cost him greatly too. The Golden Core State Level 9 wanted to trap Yimo again but found that in such a brief moment, his other companion had been killed. Yimo calmed down. Although he had lost a lot of blood and used up a lot of spirit sense, this Golden Core State cultivator didn't seem to be doing too well either. His face was pale, so it was obvious that this sword formation was taxing on his spirit sense and cultivation essence. Yimo instantly let out Shadowless, and before the 7 swords could trap him again, Zishu hacked out. Even though he really wanted to fight with this Golden Core State Level 9 for a while and test his sword formation, Yimo knew it wasn't the best time since he was injured. Who knew if someone had followed him? This guy was no weaker than Ji Jiyuan, maybe even a little stronger. The earlier he killed him, the better. Asterisk thud 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 asterisk Zishu clashed with the sword formation, but this time, Yimo felt the hidden sword ray through his exert will strike. It was very hard for spirit sense to scan it, but it existed within the sword formation. If he went in again, even if he blocked the obvious sword rays, he would still be injured by those hidden ones. That was how he got injured the first time. Although Yi Mo didn't have a good way to block this hidden sword ray, there was no way he was going to be injured by the same thing twice. Before the sword formation ray activated, he used his soul spike. He wanted to stop this golden core state level 9 before he even activated his attack. The cultivator didn't expect there to be such a peculiar spirit sense attack method. He paused for a moment, but this caused his sword formation to erupt into chaos and the hidden sword rays were gone. Yi Mo rejoiced. He knew that this sword formation was very taxing on spirit sense. He couldn't allow himself to be interrupted at all. At the same time, Yi Mo hacked out Zi Shu again and again. This time, it was the illusion cloud whirlpool strike. Yi Mo didn't even need to command Shadowless as it locked onto the cultivator's meridians. This cultivator's battle experience was very good. He knew things weren't going well already. Usually, cultivators would try to run away as far as possible in the face of danger, but he knew he couldn't run now. His first reaction was to use a rune instead. When Yi Mo saw it, he felt a sense of threat. It was a soul pill rune. Strictly speaking, it was not a rune but a one-use magic artifact that those in the nascent soul state could make. It only had one strike and was equivalent to the strike of a nascent soul state cultivator. However, lower-leveled cultivators needed some time to activate it. Yi Mo was also experienced in battle and knew he couldn't run at all now. He had to stop it from being activated. The whirlpool strike surrounded the cultivator, but he didn't mind it at all and still tried to activate the soul pill rune. If Yi Mo didn't have Shadowless or if this cultivator had activated it earlier, Yi Mo wouldn't be able to do anything, but now it was too late. Before Zi Shu fell upon his head, the cultivator felt his meridians hurt. Immediately he knew the situation wasn't good. He no longer dared to keep activating the rune now, instead quickly enveloping Shadowless with his cultivation essence, but Zi Shu's countless swirling sword rays enveloped him nonetheless. Crack crack Yi Mo realized that his strike didn't do any real damage to the cultivator, it just broke his top-grade spirit artifact and added a few light wounds. Yi Mo realized why this guy didn't care about Zi Shu's attacks and still tried to activate the soul pill rune. When the golden core state level 9 saw his spirit artifact break, he knew he no longer had the ability to keep on fighting and turned to flee without hesitation. How could Yi Mo let him flee? He hacked out again. Without any choice, the cultivator had to control his sword formation to block Yi Mo's strike. However, Shadowless broke free of the cultivation essence binding and devoured his golden core as quickly as possible. With his golden core gone, the cultivator could only look on as Zi Shu sliced through his body. Chapter 971, Jingwen wakes up. Chapter 971, Jingwen wakes up. This time, Shadowless didn't keep devouring essence blood and instead landed on Yi Mo's hand and fell asleep again. Yi Mo threw Shadowless into the golden page world and started to collect his loot. He noticed that Li Jingwen had already killed the Foundation Establishment State Cultivator and was battling with the 2 Golden Core State Primary Stage and 1 Middle Stage fighters, but he still had the upper hand. Those people fighting Li Jingwen didn't even believe that their big boss would lose so quickly, so when Yi Mo killed that Golden Core State level 9, it was already too late for them to run. They were already had the lower hand in the battle, and now that their big boss had been killed, they were worried. Just when they wanted to run, Li Jingwen took the opportunity to kill the 2 Golden Core State Primary Stage cultivators. The remaining Golden Core State Middle Stage cultivator didn't make it very far before he was finished off by Yi Mo. Seeing Yi Mo take part in the battle again, Li Jingwen sweated and said, "My battle power is too weak. If I was a little stronger, this wouldn't have dragged on for so long." Yi Mo shook his head and responded, "These people have been fighting every day and are very experienced. Unless you're more powerful than them, the outcome of the battle would remain uncertain. Of course, this has something to do with your low-level cultivation method, but don't worry. Once you reach nascent soul state, I will get you a better cultivation method." "I can reach nascent soul state?" Li Jingwen asked in joy. Yi Mo smiled, of course. Li Jingwen had already chosen to follow him. If he couldn't even expedite a cultivator of Li Jingwen's talent to the nascent soul state, Then he didn't deserve to be Pill King. Li Jingwen resisted his excitement and didn't continue asking. His main purpose of following Yi Mo was to progress further. Now that Yi Mo promised him personally, what was there to worry about? Wait for me here, I'll go take a look at that flying ship. Yi Mo landed on the bandit's ship. A middle-grade spirit artifact was very precious. After Yi Mo went inside, he found that the ship was indeed big. It had nearly 20 rooms and a big storage depot full of spirit stones, magic artifacts, ores, and herbs. Yi Mo swept all of these into his ring without hesitation. The reason they stored the loot here in the depot and not in their storage rings was probably to reward cultivators and let them pick what they wanted themselves. The only room in here with a person was found by Yi Mo. A cultivator was locked up here. He was only Foundation Establishment State Primary Stage Power. Yi Mo really couldn't understand why they locked him up. His eyes were full of despair and he only looked up a little when Yi Mo came in. But when he saw Yi Mo, he asked in shock, "You're Yi Qianbei? Yi Mo Yi Qianbei?" Yi Mo looked at this Foundation Establishment State cultivator in confusion. He didn't know this guy, so how did he know him? Seeing this, the Foundation Establishment State cultivator quickly said, "Yi Qianbei doesn't know me, but I know you. I came from the teleportation formation on Xinjiao Mountain. I'm from the magical continents. I've long been admiring Yi Qianbei's power after you exerted your godly strength and killed countless enemies atop the magical continent mountain." Yi Mo realized, "So you're from the inner hidden sects?" Yes, I'm Yu Qiang. I'm from the Liu Li sect. After the Xinjiao Mountain teleportation formation activated, I came with other people. I was lucky and met a golden core state-level master here. My master was very nice to me and taught me cultivation, but 2 months ago these bandits killed my master." Suddenly, Yu Qiang thought of something and looked at Yi Mo in shock. "Yi Qianbei, this ship belongs to bandits, why are you?" Yi Mo knew what he meant. He shook his head and told him, "I'm not a bandit, they stopped my ship so I killed them all. I just happened to see you in here. But how come you're still alive after they killed your master?" Yu Qiang was dazed and looked at Yi Mo in shock. He even forgot to answer Yi Mo's question. After a long while, he asked, "Yi Qianbei, you're already a nascent soul state cultivator?" But he immediately realized this wasn't something he could ask. He quickly said again, "Thank you for getting my revenge for me, Yi Qianbei." Yi Mo stopped him from kneeling but waited for his answer. After all, Yu Qiang was older than him. Yu Qiang said, "I like to study formation in Liu Li sect and the big boss of the bandits heard I had some knowledge on formations, so he kept me to discuss about formations with me." Yi Mo realized, the big boss left him alive because he wanted to cultivate the sword formation further. But this Yu Qiang reached the Foundation Establishment state in a mere year. This talent was absurd. "Is your talent very good?" Yi Mo asked. He had to go through life and death to reach Golden Core state, yet other people reached Foundation Establishment state so quickly. He was curious. His cultivation stagnated now and he had been stuck in Golden Core state level 2 now. Yu Qiang shook his head. "Although my talent is not bad, the reason I reached Foundation Establishment state so quickly was due to my master. He taught me a way to turn my inner qi into cultivation kai. This saved a lot of time." Yi Mo nodded. It seemed Yu Qiang's master was rather smart. "I'm going to take this ship. What do you plan to do?" Yi Mo asked. "I want to follow Yi Qianbei. I don't know anyone here." "You're the only person I know," Yu Qiang said. "Okay." Yi Mo thought if he wanted to expand China pharmaceuticals, he would need more people. It was fine if Yu Qiang came along, and he knew about formations too. These sort of people were hard to find. Yi Mo's spirit controlled the bandit ship and then took Yu Qiang back on his own ship and introduced him to Li Jingwen. Yu Qiang knew some formation knowledge and liked to play with flying ships, so Li Jingwen let Yu Qiang control the ship while he gave him a few pointers and cultivated. The first thing Yi Mo did when he came back was to concoct some pills. Du Lan Chun Xiao was mixed with a few other herbs, and through his whirlpool pill concoction method and the stalagmite marrow, Yi Mo soon developed a new type of pill. He made 6 on the first try. The pills smelled aromatic and Yi Mo could feel that the potency of the herb wasn't lost at all. He rejoiced, but still tried one first. It turned into this unexplainable spirit silk in his mouth that reached into his soul and started strengthening it. It's potent indeed, and heaven grade level 1. Yimo grabbed the other pills and said, "I'll call this dew stalagmite pill." It was ready, but Yimo became nervous. He wasn't sure if it could cure Su Jingwen. If this didn't work, what should he do? Yimo put the pill in Su Jingwen's mouth anxiously. Immediately, the pill melted into spirit liquid and disappeared. 10 seconds later, Su Jingwen didn't move at all. A minute passed, she still didn't move. 15 minutes passed but still nothing. Yimo couldn't feel any mental waves from her. He began to worry. Just when he wanted to check her body, he found that she woke up from her slumber and opened her eyes. Yimo rejoiced but didn't talk. He knew that he needed to give her time now. Chapter 972. There is so much snow here. Chapter 972. There is so much snow here. Su Jingwen saw Yimo and suddenly closed her eyes. Then she opened them again and got up, murmuring, "This isn't a hallucination. Jingwen, I didn't expect to see you here. This isn't a hallucination, it's real." Yimo looked at her and felt his heart ache. He could only imagine how much hardship she had gone through. When she was in Ninghai, she had never experienced anything close to this due to her great social status. Yimo felt even more guilty. He knew why she came here, but he just didn't know how to face it because he didn't know how to deal with relationships like this. The only way was to pretend he didn't know. "It's really not a hallucination?" Su Jingwen asked again. Then, as though she suddenly woke up, she charged into Yimo's arms and started crying. Yimo embraced her quietly and didn't talk. She needed to let out her emotions now. Su Jingwen cried for a while and looked up asking, "Why are you here? The snow here is so much, so cold." Yimo wiped the tears from her eyes and said softly, "There's no more snow. You won't be roaming in the snow alone anymore. This is my flying ship. This room isn't cold." Su Jingwen heard this and looked around, then looked at Yimo again in surprise. Finally, she cried out again and hugged Yimo tightly, not willing to let go. "Yimo, I finally found you." Yimo breathed easy. He knew that she finally fully recovered now. He looked at her excitement and didn't dare to let go at all. The softest spot in his heart was pinched hard. He let Su Jingwen let out her emotions and didn't ask about Yimo. After a long while, she calmed down and got up from Yimo's arms with a blush. She sat next to Yimo and asked quietly, "How did you find me?" She didn't know that day why Yimo was just standing in the snow and not talking, but now she knew that rather than her having found Yimo, Yimo had found her instead. "After I came to Jiangchuan City, I saw this bracelet and followed it all the way here." Yimo took out the bracelet. Su Jingwen immediately took the bracelet and studied it before putting it back on her wrist. She looked down and didn't seem to want to say anything else. Yimo didn't know what to say either now, and the reunion quietened down. Su Jingwen felt sad. She met him earlier than Song Yangzhu and Ning Qingxue, so why didn't he express anything? Suddenly, Su Jingwen thought that she couldn't cultivate at all and calmed down. She wasn't the same ignorant Su Jingwen anymore. She understood that some people could cultivate, and as long as their cultivation progressed, they had infinite life. She could at most only live 100 years and a third of it had already passed. What about 100 years later? A century later, Yimo would still be Yimo, but she would be a cup of earth. What love was there to be? That loss and melancholy filled Su Jingwen's heart. Feeling this, Yimo suddenly grabbed her hand and said, "Jingwen, this is my flying ship spirit artifact, I'll take you outside and see." She didn't object. Seeing the two walk out, Li Jingwen cried out in surprise, "Brother Yi, you succeeded. You really added Dulan Chun Xiao into a pill and it cured her?" Yimo nodded and smiled, "Thank you, if you didn't remind me about it, I really wouldn't know what to do." Li Jingwen realized just now that Su Jingwen was even more beautiful alive than when she was asleep. The sadness in her eyes made her seem feeble but render a unique sense of beauty. It made people look at her more. He couldn't help but admire Yimo's choice of beauty. Su Jingwen realized that the reason Yimo could cure her was because of this person's help. She quickly went up and thanked him. Li Jingwen didn't dare to accept her bow and quickly moved aside. So beautiful. Su Jingwen stood at the head of the ship and looked at the untainted blue sky. Clouds flew beneath her feet and her mood lightened up. Her worry and loss suddenly disappeared. She didn't want to speak at all, she just wanted to watch the peaceful, clean sky outside. Perhaps on the other side of the sky was her home, perhaps her mother was also watching her from there. Yimo stood by her and didn't disturb her. Li Jingwen pulled Yu Qiang away and left the space for Yimo and Su Jingwen. After a long while, Su Jingwen sighed and looked peacefully at Yimo, saying, "Yimo, I want to go back home." Yimo understood what she meant by this. She was tired and wanted to go back to Ninghai. If he could do it, he would take her back without hesitation, but he couldn't. He pulled her into his arms and said softly, "Sorry Jingwen, I can't take you back yet, but I promise I will be able to one day. You can stay with Luo Ying, Qingxue and Yang Zhu. And Xiaoyun Yimo," he added in his heart. He felt this was too absurd, he must not take another one like this. Su Jingwen shook and looked up. There was sourness in her nose. Is this the promise he gave me? Yimo kissed her slowly. Su Jingwen's lips were very soft but cold too. However, they soon became warm. After some time, Su Jingwen came to her senses and remembered there were two other people here, but when she looked over, they had already left. She found she was completely immersed in Yimo's arms. It was as though she couldn't feel safe if it wasn't like this. "Jingwen, starting from today, you can cultivate with me." Yimo felt she had no cultivation kai inside her at all. Yimo wasn't going to let this situation continue. Su Jingwen shook and her soft body turned stiff. It was as though Yimo's words reminded her of a scary result. "What's wrong?" Yimo passed some cultivation essence over to her to calm her down. Su Jingwen fell silent for a while and sighed, "Sorry, Yimo, I don't have spirit root, I can't cultivate." She looked up at Yimo wanting to see how disappointed Yimo was, but Yimo's eyes didn't even flicker. She pushed Yimo away, "I can't cultivate." Her tone was disappointed, this was something she couldn't overcome. Yimo pulled her over and smiled, "I know you can't, my sister Yi Ling couldn't either before, but now she's foundation establishment state so you don't need to worry. With me here, not having a spirit root doesn't matter. You can really let me cultivate." Su Jingwen couldn't calm down. She heard that no spirit root meant no cultivation, but Yimo still had a way. She couldn't resist her excitement. Cultivation meant that she could stay with Yimo forever. He didn't know that he was the only man she had danced with, the only man that rode in her car, and the only man she liked. When she felt tired and lost, the heavens sent him to her again. Heavens gave her another chance. Yimo nodded with certainty, "Yes, I can concoct a pill called 5-essence pill that can let you develop a spirit root, and a good one as well. So don't worry. Oh, by the way, how do you know you don't have spirit root?" Yimo suddenly asked. Su Jingwen just wanted to answer when she thought of something else. She grabbed Yimo and said, "Yimo was taken away, hurry and bring her back." What happened to Yimo? Yimo couldn't stay calm anymore. Chapter 973, Hidden Spirit Root. Chapter 973, Hidden Spirit Root. Su Jingwen saw Yimo's worried look and quickly said, "Don't worry, Yimo should be fine. When the four of us came to the small world, we asked around for you. Many people knew you and due to you, no one dared to be rude to us. However, everyone guessed that you went to Xinjiao Mountain's teleportation formation, so we went there too and were brought here." Seeing Yimo calm down, Su Jingwen took a deep breath and continued, "I was a little scared on the teleportation formation and was worried about Yimo, so I held her hand. But when the teleportation formation stopped, we found that we didn't end up at the same place as Sister Yuhua and Wanqing. We had been split up." Yimo nodded, he expected this. "How's Yimo?" Yimo asked worriedly. "We were teleported to an ordinary town about 600 kilometers from Jiangchuan City. We went to that town and Yimo's storage ring had a lot of things, so we didn't need to worry about living. We were planning to spend some time until I reached Kai Gathering middle stage and then go look for you and Sister Yuhua, but I was stuck around level 2. One day, We were cultivating outside when Yimo cultivated out lightning sparks. Just when we were happy, a cultivator saw us too. What happened? Yimo began to worry. Yimo was only in Kai gathering. They had no means of resistance against an ill-willed cultivator. Su Jingwen grabbed Yimo's hand and said, that cultivator stopped and said, she has lightning spirit root, great, great. Then he asked if Yimo wanted to be his disciple. Yimo didn't want to, of course, and she said she wanted to find her dad. Her dad was stronger than everyone. That man saw this and didn't force her. He raised his hand and sent his palm towards a distant mountain peak. That mountain was about a few kilometers away from us, but it was completely pulverized by him. Then, that person asked, is your dad as strong as me? How did Yimo reply? Yimo knew that someone that could do that was at least body condensation state or above. It was far from something he could compare to. Su Jingwen moved closer to Yimo and said, we were both very shocked. He was like an immortal. Although Yimo admitted that person was strong, she still said her dad was stronger. That person smiled and didn't argue. He said that you can't find your dad now. Although you have a lightning spirit root, you don't have a lightning cultivation method. Even if you cultivate for 100 years, you won't be able to achieve anything. Then, he said that the North Far state we were in was billions of kilometers long. Even if we reached his level, we might not be able to find an individual, much less now. If Yimo wanted to find you, she had to become his disciple and improve her power. Yimo knew Yimo had agreed, of course, but he still asked, did Yimo agree? Su Jingwen nodded. She thought about it and agreed, but Yimo said that I had to go as well. I was very happy thinking that I might be able to cultivate if I had a master. That person tested Yimo's spirit root and was very happy. But he looked at me and sighed after a long while. He told me that I had no spirit root and would never be able to cultivate. He told me that I should never let someone test my spirit root or I would die. Su Jingwen said, although Yimo asked me to go with her, that person said she could only come out at least 10 years later. Yimo didn't agree, but that person said if she didn't become his disciple, she wouldn't be able to find you in 100 years. Yimo could only agree, but I didn't want to stay there alone for 10 years, so I came out to test my luck and see if I could find you. Su Jingwen said shakily, after that person took Yimo away, I learned to masquerade and left the town. I roamed around and half a year later, I came to Fumo City, but I didn't stay there for long and the city was destroyed by 2 powerful cultivators. I followed the asylum seekers to Jiangchuan City and my bracelet was taken on the way. Now that I think about it, I should thank that person, or I might never have seen you again. Su Jingwen couldn't help but start crying again. Yimo grabbed her hand tightly, knowing that she needed to vent out her emotions. Su Jingwen continued after a while, later I knew that cultivators had longer lifespans than ordinary people, and I was getting lost. After I came to Jiangchuan City, I didn't dare to go work for a house, fearing that they would see through my disguise, so I could only roam the streets. That day, there was a lot of snow and I thought I would have no future. I just wanted to walk around in the city and find a peaceful place to leave the world, but the heavens pitied me and let me meet you. Yimo looked at her and knew Yimo didn't give the storage ring to her. She probably hadn't thought about it since she was just a child. Although Yimo was still a little worried, he could breathe easy that Yimo was taken away by a Qian Bei who approved of her talent. Can I really cultivate? Su Jingwen asked again, worriedly. Yimo nodded. Of course, don't worry. Suddenly, Yimo thought of something and looked at her. Wait, you said you've been at Kai gathering level 2, but how come I don't sense any cultivation Kai on you? Su Jingwen said dejectedly, at the start, I was cultivating even faster than Wanqing, but after stage 2 Kai gathering, I wasn't about to progress. Yimo's master said I had no talent and I wouldn't be able to cultivate no matter how hard I worked. In my despair, I gave up cultivation and my cultivation Kai gradually dissipated. Thinking about what Yimo's master said, he took out a spirit root testing machine and said, put your hand inside, I'll test for you. He found that none of the beads lit up indeed. She really didn't have a spirit root, but Su Jingwen said, Yimo's master tested for me last time too, but he had one white bead that lit up and dimmed down repeatedly. Are you a hidden spirit root? Yimo blurted out. His testing machine was too low quality and couldn't test it out. People who had hidden spirit roots like her would have their cultivation Kai dissipate if they didn't cultivate for a while. This was a leaking body, also called leaking spirit root. If she was really a hidden spirit root, it was rather amazing she could reach Kai gathering level 2. But if the hidden spirit root could be activated, it would be the fastest spirit root. Yimo's master said she had no spirit root because he knew that hidden spirit roots couldn't be activated at all. It needed the 9-colored lotus to activate, and that was something of the legends. Who would have it? Even if they did, they would use it to refine their own spirit root and not use it to activate a hidden spirit root. Yimo was sure there was another way to activate it, and that was possession. That was why he told her not to let other people test her spirit root. At this moment, Yimo finally felt safe about Yimo. The hidden spirit root was the easiest spirit root to possess. Once it was possessed, it would be activated immediately. But Yimo's master didn't say this and warned her instead, meaning that he was indeed a respectable Qianbei. Yimo didn't have the 9-color lotus, but he knew that there was another way to do it. It was to make the rainbow spirit pill with a lotus with more than 5 colors and the 10,000-year stalagmite marrow. He just happened to have it and 2 5-color lotuses. She was a hidden spirit root and the white bead lit up. This meant that after activation, she might be a mutant ice spirit root, a pure one too. A pure ice spirit root activated with hidden spirit root would be the best spirit root Yimo had ever seen. Jingwen, come to my room. I'll help you concoct the rainbow spirit pill. Your talent might be the best amongst us. Even Yimo was desperate to know how fast she could cultivate once activated. Chapter 974, New Idea. Chapter 974, New Idea. Su Jingwen followed Yimo to the room and just remembered that the clothes she was wearing weren't the same she had been wearing before. She looked at Yimo and immediately realized what had happened. Although Yimo was the person she liked, she felt a little uncomfortable thinking that he saw her everything. But then she immediately thought she already was willing to be with Yimo, why care about that? Yimo didn't know of course that Su Jingwen thought about that much in such a short time. He started his pill concoction. Rainbow Spirit Pill was a heaven grade level 1 pill, but that was no pressure for Yimo, such a pretty lotus. Su Jingwen exclaimed as she saw Yimo take out the 5-colored rainbow. Yimo smiled and said, "This is the 5-colored rainbow. It's not fully mature yet, but it said that once it matures, it would have 9 colors and be called the 9-colored lotus. It's one of the most precious things in the cultivation realm. Anyone would want it, even truth realization state cultivators, but up until now, no one has seen a real 9-colored lotus. Then isn't it a waste to use the 5-colored lotus now for pill concoction?" Su Jingwen asked worriedly. She didn't fully understand, but she just felt that it was a pity to use such a pretty flower for mere pill concoction. Yimo said softly, "Even if I have the 9-color lotus, I would still use it without hesitation for you, much less this 5-color lotus." Yimo. Su Jingwen heard this and was touched. After these years of hardship and roaming, she finally understood how hard it was to get back what you had once lost. She had waited for this moment for more than 10 years. They only met in the end due to chance amongst chance. If Yimo wasn't concocting pills right now, she wouldn't be able to resist the urge in her heart to embrace Yimo again and express her feelings. Even though Yimo already knew, she wanted to say it again. Yimo was immersed in the process of concocting the rainbow spirit pill. This was a special cauldron of pills. Yimo didn't use any materials besides the 5-color lotus and the 10,000-year stalagmite marrow. At this moment, Yimo was very grateful to Tai sect Li Cheng. If he hadn't given him all the stalagmite marrow, how many regrets would he have? If Yimo saw Li Cheng in Luo Yu, he would do all he could to help him. The 5-colored lotus slowly melted in the cauldron and the impurities were expunged outside. Meanwhile, the stalagmite marrow enveloped the lotus as the two gradually merged together. 15 minutes later, the pill liquid rolled in the cauldron. The mist lotus heart fire switched intermittently from weak to strong. Yimo used all his means to concoct this rainbow spirit pill. Half an hour later, even Li Jingwen and Yu Qiang could smell the aroma. Su Jingwen was immersed in this pill smell. 45 minutes later, Yimo weaved a few pill collection signs and a 5-colored pill fell into his hands. The pill seemed to be alive and jumped about in his palm. Yimo had never seen such a beautiful pill. He looked at it and suddenly had a moment of enlightenment. He realized that his pill concoction skills had increased a level. Before, he would only be able to concoct heaven-grade level 3 pills, but now he was sure he could even concoct level 4 pills. In the Pill King grade, there was a huge gap between level 3 and level 4 Pill Kings. It was quite an unexpected joy that he could reach this stage. Putting away the cauldron and heaven flame, Yimo held the pill and walked to Su Jingwen, saying, "Jingwen, open your mouth." The pill emitted a rainbow aura that was so pretty that Su Jingwen didn't want to eat it, but she still listened to Yimo and opened her mouth. The pill entered her mouth and turned into nothing. At this moment, Su Jingwen felt every pore in her body filled with a sense of ease and bliss. Yimo didn't say anything, but Su Jingwen understood that she could now start cultivating. It was an unexplainable feeling of happiness. "Do I really have a spirit root now?" Su Jingwen was just about to ask when Yimo took out the spirit root testing device, saying, "Test it again." The activation didn't take long. Su Jingwen put her hand inside and in no time, the spirit root device showed a bright white light on the white pearl. "Jingwen, your spirit root is activated, and it's pure ice spirit root." Even Yimo couldn't resist the excitement in his heart. He was desperate to know her new cultivation speed. Su Jingwen's eyes went red. Not only did she find Yimo, but she could also cultivate now. She could no longer hold back that impulse and love in her heart as she grabbed Yimo and whispered in Yimo's ears, "Mo, take me." Yimo's body temperature rose up. When he was cleaning her naked body, he didn't think much of it, but it would be a lie to say he didn't want anything now. Although Yimo really wanted to do as Su Jingwen said, but he still stopped himself. She wasn't suitable to do that stuff now. The hidden spirit root was powerful, but she was rather old. If they did it now, the ice spirit root would be weakened and this would impact her future cultivation. Yimo didn't want that to happen. When your cultivation stabilizes and the ice spirit root has finished growing, then we can. Yimo kissed Su Jingwen and continued, "I can teach you cultivation now. The cultivation method you will use is something I created myself. You can try it first. If it works, then I'll give you the remaining parts of it." Yimo didn't give her the primordial chaos chant. He was golden core state level 2 now and his knowledge of the 3 birth chant had grown. He had his own ice spirit root too. He had decided to separate that part of the cultivation method and let her cultivate it. Yimo wrote down the information pertaining to the Kai gathering state with a pen and inscribed the foundation establishment state part of it on a jade slip. "I created this cultivation method myself. No one knows about it. It's called 3 birth ice chant. Its name is ordinary, but if you can cultivate it, the results won't be ordinary," Yimo said. Su Jingwen nodded. The two cuddled together for one night in the room, and only the next morning did Su Jingwen slowly fall asleep. Yimo knew that the reason she stuck to him the entire night was that she had made up her mind to cultivate hard. Once she started doing that, they wouldn't have time for this. The second night, Su Jingwen woke up and Yimo had already prepared everything she needed for cultivation, including a storage ring and pills. He really wanted to make some good food for her, but Yimo just left her some food pills. It was best for her cultivation right now. Yimo also set up a simple spirit gathering formation around her. She didn't need the high-level things yet. Yimo came to the head of the ship without disturbing her cultivation. Li Jingwen was teaching Yu Qiang. Seeing Yimo, the two came over. Yu Qiang was already in foundation establishment state and wasn't suitable to be given a new cultivation method. Yimo gave him a storage ring and said, "These are the resources for foundation establishment state cultivators. When you need to form your core, I will give you a cultivation increasing pill. Here's also some of my understanding on formations, you can have a look." Yu Qiang took the storage ring excitedly. He thought he was going to be killed on the bandit ship for sure but had instead received such fortune. He suddenly knelt down, "Yi Qian Bei, please become my master, you got revenge for my master, you are my master now." Li Jingwen looked at this scene in a daze and suddenly said, Brother Yi, can I also be your disciple? Yimo frowned and thought for a long time before replying, perhaps I should start a sect too. Chapter 975, Mo Yu City. Chapter 975, Mo Yu City. Yes, Brother Yi, you should start a sect and will be the first-generation disciples, Li Jingwen said desperately. He had followed Yimo for a while and knew his wealth better than anyone. Regardless of whether Yimo started a sect or not, his future would be unparalleled. Once Yimo formed a sect, he would have a position as well and not just be a follower. How about call it Mo Sect? Yu Qiang also hoped Yimo would start a sect. Yimo nodded. Luo Yu continent was this big. Even if he was all-powerful, he wouldn't be able to take on 8-star or 9-star sects by himself. Right now, he couldn't even take on 4 or 5-star sects. China Pharmaceuticals was a good example. If he wanted to have his own ground in this world, he needed his own power. If he didn't want to be easily annihilated, then forming a sect was the obvious thing. Okay, starting from now, we'll have a new sect. It'll be called Mo Sect for now. Yimo hesitated and said again, Mo Sect doesn't sound powerful enough, let's add my Luo Yu City to it too. After thinking for a while, Yimo suddenly said, let's call it Mo Yu City. In Yimo's ideal, he didn't just want to form a sect, he wanted to form a city. He didn't want to be like other sects, find a place and rule it out to be theirs and dominate it. He wanted Mo Yu City to be like what Ning Qingxue wanted, a place of peace and freedom. He knew it was too idealistic and it couldn't completely be like that, but he still hoped it would. He didn't want the people of Mo Yu City to have cultivation as the only thing in their lives. He wanted them to have their own life and pursuit. The city of Mo Yu, good name. Li Jingwen and Yu Qiang applauded. Although they didn't know what was good about it, it sounded good. Just like that, Mo Yu City was formed. But they didn't even have their own land. Yimo didn't take the two as his disciples, but they could receive knowledge from Yimo. In the remaining days, Yimo visited Su Jingwen a few times. She was focused in cultivation every day, so Yimo didn't interrupt her. He found a room and started studying the Heaven Glory Pill, or cultivating the Purple Eye Soul Sever and 5-element mobility. Days flew by like this. Half a month later, Yu Qiang reached Foundation Establishment State Level 4 from Level 3. Even Li Jingwen reached Golden Core State Level 8. Although Yimo used the most spirit crystals and pills, he was still stuck in Golden Core State Level 2. Another half a month later, Li Jingwen told him that they would be nearing Peihai City in 2 days. Yimo stopped cultivation and went to visit Su Jingwen. When he saw Su Jingwen, he almost couldn't believe his eyes. In a mere month, she had reached Kai Gathering Level 5. You're Kai Gathering Level 5? Yimo subconsciously asked. Once the hidden spirit root was activated, its speed was this terrifying. Su Jingwen smiled sweetly and nodded. I feel that my speed of spirit Kai intake was just a little faster, but my progress in cultivation is many times faster. I'm going to take a shower and go have a look with you at the head of the ship. Yimo shook his head. It was clear that Su Jingwen's cultivation speed would be surpassing his in the future. He needed to hurry up and study the Heaven Glory Pill, otherwise, by the time Su Jingwen was about to form a soul, she wouldn't be able to. That wasn't really awkward, but if he was weak, he wouldn't be able to face the enemies he needed to face. Even if he got to Peihai City, they would eventually be able to find their way there. What made Yimo feel comfortable was that Su Jingwen could cultivate the cultivation method he gave her. Su Jingwen walked up to Yimo with a refreshing feel. Her mood had changed greatly since all these things happened. Is there something on your mind? Su Jingwen was very meticulous, and although Yimo didn't say anything, Su Jingwen still caught on to his mood. Yimo sighed and pulled on her hand, bringing her along to the head of the ship. It's nothing really. A person who had ill intentions gave me a pill. The pill is very good, but I don't dare to use it, so I tried to dissect it instead. I've used up more than half of it, but I still can't find the last main ingredient. The Heaven Glory Pill had 5 main ingredients. The supplementary ingredients were very easy to find, but Yimo only found 4 of the main ingredients: smoke jilan, yellow 3-leaf, red light fruit, all of which Yimo had, and the water magic artifact weed which he didn't. But Yimo wasn't too worried as he was sure he could find it. However, without the last ingredient, he wouldn't be able to concoct the Heaven Glory pill. Hearing this, Su Jingwen laughed and said, "You don't dare to eat the pill because you don't know if something is wrong with it." Yimo nodded. "Yes, I'm sure that person wouldn't be that kind-hearted." Yimo still felt threatened by that voice in the hexagonal hall. Su Jingwen squeezed Yimo's hand and smiled. "Then was there anything wrong with the herbs you separated?" "No," Yimo said without hesitation. "Then that's it. The herb you couldn't find is probably the one that person wanted to use to harm you. You can ignore it," Su Jingwen explained. Although she wasn't as good as Yimo in other areas, she was good in business and often dealt with schemes in business deals. Yimo suddenly felt enlightened. Why couldn't he think of that? In that case, if the recipe had nothing to do with the last herb, he had already found the recipe. He was 50% sure he could concoct the pill, but he needed to find the water magic artifact weed. If he could concoct it, it meant he would reach Golden Core State peak stage in a short time. Yimo hugged Su Jingwen in excitement. "Thank you, Jingwen, you're really smart." Su Jingwen blushed and looked at Li Jingwen and Yu Qiang and quickly broke free. "There are still people on the side." Yimo laughed and his mood turned good. He pointed at the two and said, "Jingwen, we have our own sect now. It's called Moyu City, and they're the first bunch." Su Jingwen repeated in joy, "Moyu City, such a beautiful name. I imagine that the city will also be very beautiful." 2 days later, Yimo put away the flying cloud boat and the four entered Peihai City. The streets were very busy and pretty much everyone here were cultivators. They all had the faint smell of the sea on them. There were spirit scents and anti-flight restrictions here. He could easily see Golden Core State and nascent Soul State cultivators on the streets. As for Kai Gathering and Foundation Establishment State, they were everywhere. There were even a few Hollow Spirit State cultivators passing by occasionally. Clearly, this was a big cultivation city. "Where do we go now? Are Yangzhu and Yi Ling really here?" Su Jingwen asked worriedly. She wanted to find a place to settle down. She had been running around too much these past years. Yimo shook his head. "I'm not sure, but it was indeed Yangzhu who left behind the jade card. They should have been here a long time ago. Let's go to some pill towers and see. They might have opened another one here." Yimo thought that if they were to stay, they needed a way to earn money. He left behind large sums of pills before he left. The most likely thing for them to do was to open a pill tower. Chapter 976, Ninghai Pill Store. Chapter 976, Ninghai Pill Store. Yimo and his group were looking for Song Yangzhu and the others as well as the waterweed at pill towers. What surprised Yimo was that a lot of people knew about the waterweed, meaning that it wasn't something very rare. However, Yimo was disappointed to find that there weren't a lot being sold. It wasn't that it was too precious, but because this herb was too low valued. Also, it was very dangerous to pick this herb. Water weeds usually grew on the distant islands in the distant sea. Most of them time, they were protected by level 5 or even level 6 beasts. Many marine beasts like to eat water weeds. So, one had to kill the guarding beasts first before collecting the mere level 4 water weed. On top of that, the water weed could only be made into the water algae pill. Its use was for water element cultivator to cultivate. However, its effects were far weaker than the clear essence pill and worse than even benefit essence pill. It was because of this that no one was willing to go into dangerous waters to collect it. Even if someone went out into the distant sea, it wasn't for collecting the waterweed but for beast cores or other herbs. Yimo heard this news and had decided to search around in Peihai City. If he couldn't find Song Yangzhu and them, he would open a pill shop here first. "Yimo, Ninghai pills." Su Jingwen suddenly pointed at a corner and said in joy. Yimo immediately looked over and saw Song Yangzhu and Zhen Xiaoshan. Without a thought, he pulled Su Jingwen and the others over. At the same time, his heart felt easy. Clearly they were fine. "Return the pill? Do you know how much trouble this pill caused me? Do you think that's enough?" The two Golden Core State cultivators looked coldly at Song Yangzhu and Zhen Xiaoshan with ridicule in their eyes. Yimo looked at Song Yangzhu and the others and knew that this wasn't the first time they had encountered this situation. But Yimo knew that they weren't living too well in Peihai. How come Li Yuqian didn't come out? Why did Song Yangzhu and Zhen Xiaoshan have to deal with this? Song Yangzhu was only Foundation Establishment State Level 2 and Zhen Xiaoshan clearly fell below Golden Core State and was only Foundation Establishment State Level 8. Yangzhu, I'm back, what's going on? Yimo walked into the small pill shop and asked. Song Yangzhu was dazed when she saw Yimo. Joy flashed across her eyes as she ran into her husband's arms crying. Hee hee, perfect. Peihai City isn't a place where you can be over-domineering, one of the two Golden Core State cultivators said coldly. Yimo patted her back and said, Don't worry, I'm back. Jingwen is here too. Jingwen. Song Yangzhu just saw Su Jingwen and quickly came to say hello. Su Jingwen saw Song Yangzhu's distressed face and clearly felt she was living better than her. Seeing the two catching up, that Golden Core State walked to a closet and smashed it, saying coldly, Do you not want to give me a resolution? You want to act dead? Li Jingwen was already furious, but he could only stay behind Yimo since Yimo hadn't said anything. Yimo patted Song Yangzhu's hand and asked, Yangzhu, what happened? Tell me about it. Song Yangzhu felt even more wronged hearing this. Zhen Xiaoshan saw this and quickly said, These people bought our pills and changed them to bad ones, saying that the pills we're selling are problematic. So they come up asking for compensation. This isn't the first time. A few times before, we just compensated them, but they're getting more and more ridiculous. Little girl, watch your words, since when did we use fake pills to trick you? If your shop is selling real pills, would you compensate us before? The Golden Core State cultivator pointed his fingers and cursed. Zhen Xiaoshan took a few steps back in fear. Yimo got up and said, Show me the pills you bought. The Golden Core State heard this and sneered in contempt. A mere Golden Core State Level 2, other than accepting his fate, what else could he do? He had a Golden Core State Level 8 behind him, but this was their land. He was Golden Core State Level 5 and his friend was Golden Core State Level 7. They wouldn't dare to do anything. The Golden Core State threw out a Benefit Essence pill into Yimo's hand and said coldly, This is the Benefit Essence pill. Yimo took this and knew immediately that it wasn't made by him. This was a waste pill. Yimo crushed it and threw it on the ground, saying coldly, I'm curious, what does a Golden Core State cultivator need to buy a Foundation Establishment State pill for? Even if you crush the pill, you still need to compensate me. Do I need you to boss me about why I bought the Benefit Essence pill? I like to eat it, is there a problem? The Golden Core State said. Yimo nodded and said plainly, That's fine. Before he could react, Yimo suddenly punched out. The Golden Core State Level 5 was instantly bound by the cultivation essence of this fist. This fist was derived from the Illusion Cloud Essence Binding Strike. Yimo kicked on his Dan Tian. He spat blood and his Dan Tian was crushed by Yimo's kick. That Golden Core State Level 7 just reacted and looked sluggishly at Yimo. He turned around and was about to leave. You still want to go? Without Yimo's need to order, Li Jingwen blocked the door with his universal ruler. How dare you fucking destroy my Dan Tian? The Golden Core State Level 5 was full of fear. Yimo sneered and walked up, slapping him in the face many times until his mouth was completely broken. Then he waved his hand and the powder of the pill he had crushed fell in this Golden Core State Level 5's mouth. Yimo then kicked him to the door and said coldly, Since you like eating Benefit Essence pill, don't waste it. Yimo didn't kill this Golden Core State cultivator. Now, this Golden Core State finally realized his predicament. He was full of fear. Even if he left now, someone with a destroyed Dan Tian and Golden Core wouldn't be able to survive in this city. Qian Bei, this has nothing to do with me. The Golden Core State Level 7 cultivator turned around and said in horror. He didn't think that Yimo would be this cocky, daring to do such a thing to a Golden Core State cultivator in Peihai. Clearly Yimo was already Golden Core State peak stage. He wouldn't be a match for this guy no matter what. Thinking about this, he started to regret ever coming. He had also heard that Ninghai pills were easy to abuse. If you went up to scam them you would get benefits. Oh, it's not related to you. Why are you here then? Why did you bring the essence benefit pill? Yimo's tone was cold. Qian Bei, Qian. He wasn't even able to say a complete sentence. He had endured so much to get to Golden Core State Tertiary stage. There were many times he had almost died, and now he was going to be completely destroyed. You want me to let you go? Yimo asked coldly. The Golden Core State Level 7 quickly nodded. Yes, please Qian Bei. Yimo said calmly, that's fine, but if I let everyone go, then how can I run my business? I can let you go. Yimo said this, and the Golden Core State Level 7 felt as if he had heard heavenly music and wanted to kneel. But Yimo's tone changed. But you have two choices. First is to destroy your own Dantian and Golden Core and piss off. The Golden Core State dazed. This was no different than killing him. He quickly asked for the second option. Yimo knew this would happen and he said, the second way is very simple. Other people have come to scam my store. If you let me plant a restriction in you, you can go bring over all the people who scammed my store. If I'm sure you didn't miss anyone, I can let you go. Chapter 977, Sister Lee's Injury. Chapter 977, Sister Lee's Injury. The Golden Core State Level 7 was dazed. This was hard to do as well. Yimo sneered, since you don't want the trouble, then I'll do it myself. No, I'll choose the second choice, this Golden Core State Level 7 immediately said. The second choice was hard, but there was still a sliver of hope. This first choice was death. If someone could help him break the restriction, he could run away. He wouldn't need to stay in Pei High. Yimo smiled and quickly planted a restriction on this Golden Core State Level 7. Then, he said casually, other than me, no one else can break the restriction. If you try to force it, you will have chosen the first choice. Hearing this, the cultivator's heart went cold. His last sliver of hope was gone. However, the worst news came when Yimo said, of course, I don't care about time, but in 1 month the restriction will activate. Decide for yourself, piss off. Seeing this, the Golden Core State Level 7 stumbled out of the store. The cultivators watching outside shivered. This Ninghai pill store was the most honest pill store and many wanted to scam them, but none expected the terrifying existence of the store owner. This made many cultivators who planned on scamming the store as well break out in a cold sweat. Yimo looked at the moaning Golden Core State Level 5 cultivator and said to Li Jingwen, bring this person to the City Management Council and report what Ninghai pills has suffered. Yes. Li Jingwen immediately took that dead dog of a Golden Core State Level 5 and disappeared. Everyone looked on in fear. Not only did they break someone, but they were suing them as well. Yimo wasn't going to kill as soon as he came here, of course. Even though he destroyed this man's cultivation core, he still needed to notify city management. After all, this city didn't belong to him. He was living here too. This was showing his attitude to Pei High City. He believed the city manager wouldn't do anything to him due to this. Plus, Yimo felt a hidden spirit sense scan over when he broke the Golden Core State Level 5. He didn't know who that was, but after that spirit sense scanned over, no one came. Yimo immediately knew it was some significant figure of the city. Interesting, this is quite a character. In a luxurious place, a middle-aged man took back his spirit sense and murmured. Who did Brother Ziyu say is a character? An old man smiled and asked. The middle-aged man laughed. A very interesting Golden Core State cultivator came to Pei High City. He's a Golden Core State Primary Stage 2. Not bad. The old man laughed. He's clearly really good for you to be able to say not bad. The middle-aged man nodded. Yes, he's only Golden Core State Level 5, but he can instantly kill Golden Core State Level 5s and he deals with things in a very experienced way. Interesting. After all the people outside the shop had left, Yimo came up to Song Yangzhu and asked what happened at River State. Where was Li Yuqian? How come he didn't see her? After hearing their story, Yimo realized how much had happened in this half-year. When they were at River State, China Pharmaceuticals had been broken in by Lu Zhouqing, who had reached nascent soul state, and the other manager of Immortal Treasure Tower. Li Yuqian couldn't take on 2 nascent soul state fighters. In addition, there weren't just nascent soul states there at China Pharmaceuticals, there were many golden core state as well. Due to the desperate situation, Jin Xiaoshan ate the burst soul pill and would have exploded if she didn't have the stalagmite benefit pill. Even so, her power fell to Foundation Establishment State Level 4. She only reached Foundation Establishment State Level 8 again after more hard work and pills. Meanwhile, Li Yuqian was heavily injured on the spot. Even so, she still brought people with her and left through the escape teleportation formation Yi Mo left behind. After putting up wards, Li Yuqian's nascent soul was depleted and unable to gather cultivation essence. How's Yi Ling? Yi Mo was also worried about her. Yi Ling was also hurt at the time, but she wasn't completely affected during the battle. She has recovered now and is taking care of Master inside, Song Yangzhu said worriedly. No wonder those golden core state dared to come here, Li Yuqian was still injured. Thinking about this, Yi Mo got up and said, I'll go have a look at Sister Li clean her up. Ning Hai will stop operation for now, we need to open a bigger pill shop. There was spirit sense shielding formation outside Li Yuqian's room. Yi Mo went in the room and saw Li Yuqian sitting on a seat recovering while Yi Ling was carefully organizing some herbs on the side. When Yi Mo came in he felt a sense of cold, as though it originated from Li Yuqian's body. Yi Ling's power level was too weak and she couldn't feel it. Brother. Yi Ling saw Yi Mo come and immediately charged over in joy and started crying. As long as Yi Mo came back, her heart felt settled and those things didn't seem to matter. Yi Mo, you're back. Li Yuqian also woke up and seemed a little easier, but she was immediately shaken. You're already in golden core state? Song Yangzhu and the others couldn't see Yi Mo's power level, but Li Yuqian immediately saw that Yi Mo was golden core state level 2. Brother, you're already golden core state? Yi Ling grabbed Yi Mo's hands in excitement. Brother was golden core state, meaning that those scamming Ning Hai pills wouldn't dare to come again. There was a sound barrier and spirit sense barrier formation up, so Yi Ling didn't know what had just happened outside. Yi Mo nodded. Yes, I'm already golden core state. Yi Mo thought that if he found the water weed, then nascent soul state wouldn't be far from him too. He then looked at Yi Ling and said, Sister, Jingwen is here too, go say hi. Sister Jingwen is here too? Yi Ling rejoiced but then rolled her eyes. Brother, you're going to have one extra wife, right? Yi Mo blushed and said, this is the last time for sure. Phut, do you think I will believe you? For Yangzhu, you also said it was last time. But then, there was Xiaoyun. Yi Ling felt she had spoken a little too much and quickly changed the subject. Okay, I'll go see Sister Jingwen, you must treat Master. Seeing her go out, Yi Mo could finally breathe easy. He really didn't know how to tell Luo Ying and Ning Qingxue about Jingwen and Xiaoyun. For Yangzhu, it was actually easier. Sister Li, what happened to you? How come you still haven't recovered? Yi Mo asked worriedly. Li Yuqian smiled and said, I just injured my foundation, it's actually no big deal. I just need to rest for another month or two and I will recover. Yi Mo asked suddenly, Sister Li, did your nascent soul get frozen by something? Li Yuqian looked at Yi Mo in shock. You can feel the frigidness from my body? You're only golden core state level 2. Yi Mo smiled, that's because I have a special sense when it comes to coldness and flame. Should I have a look for you? Li Yuqian was a bit embarrassed. Although Yi Mo wasn't that much younger than her, she was Yi Ling's master. If Yi Mo helped her check, he would need to use his cultivation essence to run through her meridians. Yi Mo knew her hesitation. Okay, have a look. Li Yuqian reached out her wrist. A cultivator was pursuing the great Tao of the heaven and earth, why should she care so much about such little things? Yi Mo nodded and didn't think anything of it. Yi Mo sent his cultivation essence into her dantian carefully and saw that her nascent soul was indeed bound by a layer of frost. Such a powerful cultivation method, Yi Mo sighed, this was a completely different level than his winter's arrival. Sister Li, help me later. I will suck away the frost from your nascent soul. Before she could say anything, Yi Mo started using winter's arrival to suck. Li Yuqian was shook, this was Lu Joqing's ultimate move. Even another nascent soul state cultivator wouldn't dare to do this. Yi Mo was a mere golden core state primary stage. This was suicide. Just when she was about to stop Yi Mo already started siphoning. Li Yuqian sighed and could only cooperate. But Li Yuqian soon found that layer of frost was really being sucked away and Yi Mo was still fine. Was he an ice spirit root? This was impossible. There was no such thing as an ice spirit root pill master. Yi Mo felt good. His winter's arrival's power had stagnated, and now after absorbing so much frost kai, it immediately grew. Chapter 978, Standing Ground in Pei Hai. Chapter 978, Standing Ground in Pei Hai. After 15 minutes, Li Yuqian's pale face became ruddier. She could feel that her nascent soul was breaking free. As the frost was being sucked away, that long-forgotten sense of freedom surged forth. Li Yuqian looked at Yi Mo in surprise and joy. Yi Mo surprised her too much. The injury that had troubled her for half a year was completely gone. Although the frost wasn't as strong as it had been in the beginning, it was still crazy that Yi Mo could suck it away with only his golden core state level 2 power. His cultivation essence was probably the same as a normal golden core state level 7 or level 8. Li Yuqian sighed to herself. When Yi Mo's hand moved away from her wrist, she had recovered about 80% of her power. She got up immediately and circulated her cultivation essence. She then said with gratitude, "Yi Mo, thank you, you surprise me so much. There seems to be no problem you can't solve." Yi Mo was also very happy. He bowed to Li Yuqian and said, "Sister Li, the person that I need to thank is you. If it wasn't for you, Yangzhu and them rest wouldn't be here. Thank you." Yi Mo knew very well that if Li Yuqian wanted to run away herself, even 2 nascent soul state cultivators wouldn't be able to stop her. The reason she got injured was because of Song Yangzhu and Yi Ling. Then, Yi Mo gave her 2 bottles. "Sister Li, you just recovered, you need these pills." "Life essence pills?" Li Yuqian took the bottles and asked in shock. Even hollow spirit state cultivator could use life essence pills, one could imagine its value, yet Yi Mo was willing to give her them and 2 bottles in one go. When Yi Mo and Li Yuqian came out, Li Jingwen was already back. Su Yu and Sheng Yizhong were also back. When Su Yu saw Su Jingwen, the two released their sad emotions. Both didn't expect to meet again in this vast Luo Yu continent. This room of people squeezed together felt the joy of reunion. "What did the manager of Pei Hai City say?" Yi Mo asked Li Jingwen. Li Jingwen replied, "The manager Wang said we did really well, they wouldn't ever let such people go." Yi Ling said in contempt, "Bullshit, when our store was scammed again and again, how come no one did anything?" Yi Ling's words made everyone speechless. So what if they got scammed? If Yi Mo didn't come back, no one would care even if they were scammed 100 times. This place was the survival of the fittest. The city lord had the same attitude. The stronger the people who lived here, the happier he was. Seeing the gloomy atmosphere, Yi Mo smiled and broke the sullenness. "With Sister Li here, I don't think those little punks would do such things again from now on." Sheng Yizhong and Su Yu prepare for foundation establishment state. Sister Zhen needs to reform her core. "We will only avoid abuse if we grow stronger and stronger. Let's find a place to settle first. This store is too small." Hearing this, everyone deeply agreed. In this world run by the law of the jungle, there was no reasoning, your fist was the reason. Li Jingwen got up and said, "Sect leader, that manager Wang just said that Treasure Tower is open and asked if we wanted to rent it. Why did he suddenly ask this?" Su Jingwen asked. Yi Mo smiled. "Clearly, they're testing our power. One reason is that we have more people now and we need to change places, the second is to test how much power we have. If we rent it, then it means we're worth their attention. If we don't even have that much power, then we're not worth their attention. But we don't know how big Treasure Tower and where it is." Sheng Yizhong suddenly said, "I know it, when we came, that place was already wasted. It's near the city border. There have been a few beast tides and each time the buildings near the city walls are damaged first. Plus, although that place is cheaper than other places, it's not cheap for ordinary people. It's not small but no one wants to rent it." Yes, I heard that the last owner was nascent soul state tertiary stage power but never came back after going out to the sea. So, it's been empty up until now. The land is more than 100,000 square meters, Suyu said. 100,000 square meters of land was not small. Yimo nodded and asked Li Jingwen, how many spirit stones did that manager Wang say it costs? Li Jingwen shook his head. He said about 200k to 300k top-grade spirit stones a year. That expensive? Yi Ling opened her mouth wide. Yimo fell silent. There's no need to rent it, tell him, if it's within 3 million, then we're willing to buy it. After we buy it, we'll change its name to Mo Yu. This place will be the starting ground of our Mo Yu city. Yimo had about 6 million top-grade spirit stones. He was going to be using this place for the long term, so instead of renting, he might as well buy it. What? You're going to buy Treasure Tower? The manager was scared by Li Jingwen. Even a hollow spirit state cultivator would have trouble taking out a few million spirit stones. Li Jingwen replied calmly, yes, Manager Wang. Our sect leader is interested in this place, but we're planning to stay long term. Instead of renting, we might as well buy it. Of course, if you're not willing to sell it, then never mind. Sell, of course I'll sell it, but the sale price is at least 30 times the price of 1 year's rent. Are you able to afford it? Even if I give you a discount, the yearly rent would be 200k top-grade spirit stones and so the sale price would be 6 million sale price. Li Jingwen was shaken. Yimo only gave him 3 million but these guys immediately asked for 6 million. Seeing Li Jingwen's hesitation, Manager Wang didn't rush him, but he was beginning to have some interest in the mysterious boss behind Li Jingwen. Li Jingwen thought for a while and saluted with his fists. I'm really sorry Manager Wang, the price our boss gave is 5 million spirit stones. This price is too far from what we expected. Manager Wang shook his head, 5 million isn't even half the price. It seems we won't be able to conduct this transaction. Then that's really unfortunate. Li Jingwen got up and was ready to leave. Wait a moment, Manager Wang stopped Li Jingwen and quickly left. Li Jingwen was in no rush. He knew that Yimo didn't have to buy this place but he just didn't have the time to look for it. In a while, Manager Wang came back and said apologetically to Li Jingwen, I just asked, if you really want to buy it, the lowest price is 5 million. Any lower than that? 3 million, Li Jingwen interrupted. If you can sell for 3 million, I will leave the spirit stones immediately and sign the contract. Okay, great, 3 million it is. Wang Di, will make this friend, Manager Wang said without hesitation. Li Jingwen opened his mouth and felt bitter. He knew that he had lost big today. He also realized that in terms of business, two of him were no match for Manager Wang. Seeing this, Manager Wang felt happy. He would have agreed if that place could be sold for 2 million but now he had sold it for 3 million. He didn't expect this at all. If there was a place of similar size in the center of the city, then it would be worth at least 10 million, but Treasure Tower was really not worth such a sum of money. Despite this, Li Jingwen could only sign the contract. He thought that if Yimo didn't give him only 3 million but 4 million instead, he would have lost it all too. Yimo heard Li Jingwen's guilty report and laughed. He patted Li Jingwen's shoulder and said, you fall over, you learn something. Things like this won't happen in the future. Sometimes, losing is winning. I'll hand the development of Mo Yu over for you to oversee. Later, find people to build Mo Yu based on my blueprint. Yimo knew Li Jingwen was going to lose money but he still sent him there, as he and Yu Qiang would be responsible for most of the negotiations of Mo Yu City in the future. He needed to prepare them. Chapter 979, Going Out to the Sea. Chapter 979, Going Out to the Sea. A month later, Mo Yu appeared in Peihai City. Mo Yu wasn't the biggest merchant association, but it was the most grandiose merchant association. Not only did it have layers of defense formations but all of its buildings were made from the blue rock found at the bottom of the ocean. From a distance, it looked like the ocean. This time, Yimo didn't cut costs. He set up multiple defense and attack formations. With his formation master skills and the splurging of spirit stones, the attack formations were already level 4. Even if nascent soul state cultivators were trapped inside, they wouldn't be able to leave easily. If there was a nascent soul state cultivator manning the formation, then even if cultivators above the nascent soul state attacked Mo Yu, they would die. The reason China Pharmaceuticals was broken into and Li Yuqian was heavily injured was because Yi Mo's power was limited and he couldn't set up high-level attack formations. To Yi Mo, the best defense was a good offense. Mo Yu rose up with dominance in Pei Hai, but most of the people came from Ning Hai pills. However, many people knew that those who scammed them before were all found out by a golden core state level 7 cultivator and had their dantians destroyed. After the higher-ups of Pei Hai City remained silent about this, no one dared to look for trouble at Mo Yu. Even without that, no one would dare to go start trouble at Mo Yu just from how they rose up in a dominating fashion. Mo Yu's main products were formation discs and pills. At the same time, they bought all sorts of materials including beast cores. All those who went to Mo Yu were shocked to find that although their prices were similar to other places, they had a lot of top-grade and mostly special-grade pills. The main thing was that they even had some single stocks of condensed red pills for golden core state cultivators. As this news spread, Mo Yu soon became famous in Pei Hai. The distant place Mo Yu was at also became more and more populous. As for the formation discs, rarely any other shops in Pei Hai sold them. Yi Mo was teaching Yu Qiang how to make formation discs while teaching Su Yu and Shengizhong pill concoction. As for the management of Mo Yu, he handed it completely over to Li Jingwen. Although he was very occupied now, once Shen Xiaoshan reached golden core state again, he would be able to have an easier time. Su Jingwen, Yi Ling and Song Yangzhu were weaker, so other than helping out at the shop sometimes, they spent most of their time cultivating. A month later, Mo Yu was completely on the right track, and now Shen Xiaoshan had reached golden core state again. Although she was very excited, Yi Mo thought it was nothing much. He was supplying with her so much pills and her talent wasn't that bad. However, Su Jingwen reached golden core state level 9 in less than 3 years. Yi Mo gasped at her cultivation speed and was prepared to go out and find the water weed. He needed huge amounts of cultivation resources. Ordinary spirit gathering formations weren't enough for him at all. Mo Yu opened up and Yi Mo spent all the spirit stones he had. Plus, he invited 2 level 6 spirit pill masters to stay at Mo Yu. Yi Mo needed to go out into the sea and he didn't have time for pill concoction. Su Yu and Shengizhong had just started learning, so they wouldn't be able to concoct any for sales. 3 months later, Yi Mo set up another teleportation formation and gave the middle-grade spirit artifact flying ship to Li Yuqian before leaving Pei Hai City. Ever since the incident at River State, Yi Mo didn't feel safe anywhere. There must be a teleportation formation. This time, Yi Mo's formation skills greatly increased, so he set the other side of the teleportation formation to somewhere 200,000 kilometers away. Pei Hai was next to the Heartless Sea. Each day, countless cultivators went from the city to the Heartless Sea. These cultivators all formed groups to hunt beasts or collect spirit herbs and ores. Low-level cultivators stayed around the border of the Heartless Sea, but if you wanted to find higher-grade spirit herbs and beasts, you had to go further into the sea. There were 2 ways of going out. One was to have your own spirit artifact flying boat or a flying magic artifact. Another was going through the teleportation formation to reach Pei Chi Island and then leave from there. This island was only about 100,000 kilometers from the city. The teleportation formation was set here as it was surrounded by dangerous waters and there were many businesses here. Those who went out hunting would replenish their supplies here and sell what they found. On top of that, the island would be able to send news back immediately if there was a beast wave. Yi Mo had his own flying boat, so he didn't go to the island. He was going to an island called Duo Horn Island that was 100,000 kilometers from the Pei Chi Island. Yi Mo heard that there was the most water weed here. Yi Mo got on his flying boat and headed there according to the map. Unlike everyone else, Yi Mo didn't have a companion. Yi Mo felt it was easier to go out by himself. After all, he had the Golden Page world and could run away easily. The moment Yi Mo got to the island, there was a shocking news from Peihai City that instantly spread across the entire North Far State. South Peace State, North Far State, and East Black State were going to establish intercontinental teleportation formations. Multiple truth realization states with 30 disaster transformation states and cauldron filling states would come to try to and establish the teleportation formation in a year's time. No one knew why these 3 states suddenly wanted to build a teleportation formation, but many of the cultivators at the bottom finally realized that there wasn't just a single state on Luo Yu continent. More shockingly, the site of the teleportation formation was chosen to be Peihai City. The person who regretted life the most now was Manager Wang. No one would have thought the site of the teleportation formation would be Peihai City. Due to this, the land price of Peihai City soared up more than 10 times. The land he sold for 3 million was worth more than 30 million now. However, Li Jingwen couldn't stop smiling. If he sold Mo Yu out now, he would be earning tens of millions of spirit stones. However, the sect leader had left and he couldn't share this joy. He greatly respected Yi Mo's words now, losing is winning. It seems he won more than he could ever imagine now. Manager Wang wasn't happy, but he knew very well that Mo Yu seemed large but only had 1 nascent soul state cultivator. Just when he wanted to think of a way to take it back, he heard that a disaster transformation state formation master went to Mo Yu. This made Wang Di's heart skip. If that disaster transformation state master was related to Mo Yu and he offended them, he wouldn't even know how he would die. It was Li Yuqian who came to greet the master. Qian Bei. Li Yuqian was also uneasy facing a cultivator many states above her. However, that cultivator didn't have much of an attitude. He smiled and waved his hand. Don't be anxious, I see that the defense and attack formations here are very good. I wanted to ask who set it up. If possible, I want to see him. Yi Mo's formation had deviated from the traditional formation basics. He had his own system, and so when this disaster transformation state saw this unique defense formation, he immediately wanted to see who set it up. Li Yuqian said worriedly, Qian Bei, the formation is set up by our sect leader. He went out to the sea a few days ago. Qian Bei can see him when he comes back. Oh, okay. The disaster transformation state cultivator was a little disappointed. He took out a jade card and said to Li Yuqian, in that case, when he comes back, tell him to take the jade card to the center of the formation site of the city to find me. I'm Ji Lin. At the same time, Yi Mo had encountered some trouble at Duo Horn Island. Chapter 980, Reject Invitation. Chapter 980. Reject Invitation. Yi Mo stopped his flying boat because he was blocked by a battleship-like magic artifact. It was huge and it seemed like a moving continent from afar. It was a much higher level than Yi Mo's flying boat. It was a low-grade cultivation artifact. In fact, this big ship had been parked here before and 2 golden core state cultivators got off and stopped Yi Mo's flying boat. They looked the ship with greedy eyes. Yi Mo didn't do anything. The person who could control such a huge cultivation artifact would be no ordinary person. Even if he could beat the 2 golden core state, he couldn't do anything. The low-grade cultivation artifact had offensive and defensive capabilities. It was very easy for them to catch up to his ship even though it was huge. Plus, Yi Mo guessed that there were about 100 golden core state cultivators on board and about 2 in the nascent soul state. Yi Mo had no hopes of running away from such power. The downside of this ship was that it was so big that ordinary storage rings wouldn't be able to store it. Some wouldn't even be able to shrink. It was normal for some nascent soul state cultivators to have cultivation artifacts, but such massive flying artifacts were really not common. Yi Mo believed this probably belonged to some sort of power. Golden core state level 2 cultivator. The 2 golden core state came up to Yi Mo and smiled. Clearly, Yi Mo's power meant nothing to them. The greed in their eyes grew. A mere golden core state level 2 dared to fly out with such a top-grade spirit artifact. This was no different than suicide. Where are you going? Seeing that Yi Mo didn't reply, that golden core state level 7 suddenly asked coldly. Yi Mo stood up and replied calmly, does everyone who goes out to the Heartless Sea need to report to you? The golden core state level 9 was shocked. He didn't expect Yimo to dare to talk back like this. But clearly, the two didn't dare to overtly attack Yimo. The Golden Core State Level 7 felt unhappy that Yimo had no respect for him. Of course it has nothing to do with us and you don't need to report to us, but you can't take this path. You have to go around if you want to go to the Heartless Sea. Our Ao Cheng Merchant Association will be using this path for these few days. Even if you want to leave from here, you have to wait till our ship has left. Yimo fell silent. The island he wanted to reach was not far ahead. If he had to go around, he would still need to come back here. Who knew how long this boat would be parked here for? You want to go to Duo Horn Island, right? Although I don't know why you want to go there, you can't go there as well, the Golden Core State Level 9 said. Yimo didn't hide it and said, that's right, I want to go there to collect some waterweed. Water weeds were worthless to Golden Core State cultivators. The two Golden Core State were dazed and laughed. The Golden Core State Level 7 laughed again. If you want to go look for something else, I can't say for sure, but I can tell you that there certainly won't be any waterweed. You won't even be able to catch a whiff of it. Even in the area with the radius of a few 100,000 kilometers, you won't find any waterweed. Why? Yimo blurted out. Waterweed was very important to him. Without it, how could he concoct the Heaven Glory Pill? How could he reach nascent soul state? The disappointment on Yimo's face was obvious. The two could easily tell that the waterweed was important to Yimo. The Golden Core State Level 7 used this opportunity and pointed at the big boat not far away and said, if you want waterweed, it's not impossible. That's the ship our Ao Chen Merchant Association uses to go into deep waters. You can take our boat over. Otherwise, even if your spirit artifact is top grade, it would be suicide to go into deep waters. Yimo frowned and that cultivator continued, if you want waterweed, you need to follow our ship into the deep sea. I'm not lying, if you don't believe me, you can ask other people on board. Then why are you guys stopped here? Yimo asked. The Golden Core State Level 7 smiled. It's fine if I tell you. Our Elder How is about to reach nascent soul state tertiary stage, so we need to stop here and wait for the Elder to ascend. It's your luck that you met us. Our ship has nascent soul state Chen Bei, there basically won't be any danger. But every cultivator on our boat needs to pay some price. Yimo sneered, he had his flying boat and they wanted him to go on their boat and give his boat away. These two were crazy. Yimo guessed that even though they desired his boat, they wouldn't dare to steal it in front of all the other cultivators. Many of the cultivators on board had probably been lured on like this. The Golden Core State Level 9 intervened, although you have this top-grade flying spirit artifact, it's easy to get here but it would be very hard for you to go back alone later. I'll tell you the truth, there's a level 7 beast here and he went crazy. He took his lower level minions and cleared all the spirit herbs around here. This includes the waterweed. Many solo cultivators were also killed. Our Merchant Association's Hollow Spirit State Elder battled that level 7 beast and both got injured. The level 7 beast retreated and the lower leveled minions also retreated. However, the herbs they collected weren't taken away. They're still on an island. But other than the herbs, there are many beasts below level 6 on it, so many cultivators formed a small squad and hired our ship. Our Merchant Association sent out 2 nascent soul state elders to support this project. So it's indeed due to luck that you can get on it. Then, he scanned Yimo's flying boat hoping that Yimo would go on now. As long as he went on, Yimo's flying boat would belong to them. Yimo didn't object. This cultivator's words were a mix of truth and lies, but one thing was for sure, the herbs nearby were all swooped away. The Golden Core State cultivator was getting a little desperate seeing that Yimo didn't express anything. Just when he wanted to say something, Yimo saluted with his fists. Thank you too for your goodwill, but I won't go to the Duo Horn Island. I'm going back now. The two wanted to trick Yimo onto the ship and then slowly threaten and trick Yimo into giving away the flying boat, but now, there was nothing they could do. Just when they wanted to say something, the horn on the big ship sounded. It was about to depart. Although they were very unsatisfied, they flew back onto the ship without hesitation. Soon, the ship disappeared. Yimo didn't leave. He was sure that most of what they said was real, but why would the Merchant Association only send 2 nascent soul state cultivators? The store of herbs should attract way more people. Why were there only golden core state cultivators forming squads and only 2 nascent soul state cultivators sent here from the Merchant Association? Yi Mo stood thinking for a while and decided to go see the island first. A few hours later, Yi Mo stood on the island. This place was indeed empty. Not a single beast nor spirit herb. Chapter 981, Terrifying Pill. Chapter 981, Terrifying Pill. Yi Mo wasn't really going to go back, he instead opened the stealth formation of the flying ship and followed carefully. He could only follow in the direction that the ship had disappeared. In the next few days, Yi Mo didn't find any signs of that ship but saw tens of islands. The islands were all wiped clean like the cultivators had said. Yi Mo was shaken. Was this really the case? If so, how many beasts were needed to collect the herbs? How many herbs had been collected? There were too many islands in a 100,000 kilometer radius from this point, but all their spirit herbs had been harvested. This was no different than a beast wave. Beast waves usually started without warning and had little organization. But what had just happened before his eyes was much too organized. Thinking about this, Yi Mo didn't continue following the ship. Regardless if the cultivator's information was true, he didn't have the power to take part in it. He changed the direction of his flying ship. A few days later, Yi Mo found some more islands along the way, but they were all barren as well. Yi Mo had decided to go deep into the sea. Although he was already in the deep sea and would face life-threatening danger if he went in any further, he was willing to risk it for the waterweed. 7 days later, he found another island. What shook him was that the spirit herbs were still there and there were still spirit beasts on it. Yi Mo suddenly felt that the Ao Chen Merchant Association's actions were quite eerie. He didn't bother with that, it had nothing to do with him. Yi Mo searched this island, they were all low-level spirit herbs. The other islands that were harvested wouldn't have high-level spirit herbs, but all these low-level spirit herb were harvested clean. There definitely was something here. 3 days later, Yi Mo stopped on an island that was only a few hundred kilometers in circumference. He was very excited, he had finally found one waterweed, one that didn't have any spirit beast guarding it. This was in the extremely deep sea. One was not enough for Yi Mo, but it could let him know if he would be able to concoct the Heaven Glory Pill. Yi Mo found a safe place on this island and went into the Golden Page world. He was going to concoct the Heaven Glory Pill. Yi Mo had gathered all of the 4 main ingredients. As Yi Mo threw a set of spirit herb into the Shennon cauldron, he filtered out the impurities with his spirit sense. The pill liquid started to boil and mix. Yi Mo took this trial very seriously and kept refining the pill liquid repeatedly. Half an hour later, a faint herb aroma was spreading. Yi Mo rejoiced, he felt Su Jingwen's guess was right. Another 15 minutes later, Yi Mo kept weaving finishing pill signs. The Heaven Glory Pill was about to form. Yi Mo held the excitement in his heart and was very careful. But at this crucial moment, he heard an almost indiscernible crack. The pill was about to fail. Yi Mo was shaking. Was Su Jingwen's conjecture wrong? The missing herb wasn't the harmful part? Without it, the pill couldn't form. Yi Mo's heart sunk, he stopped the pill formation process and used his spirit sense to stop the pill from cracking. The Heaven Glory Pill was level 9 spirit pill. With his level 4 pill king skills, he far exceeded the requirements to concoct the pill. Yi Mo carefully started to check the pill with his spirit sense. Soon, he saw the problem. The Heaven Glory Pill was missing spirit power and couldn't condense. Yi Mo immediately thought of spirit crystals. He threw in 3 without hesitation and started to use the finishing pill signs. This time, the Heaven Glory Pill didn't crack and slowly condensed, eventually forming 3 pills at the bottom of the cauldron. Yi Mo breathed a sigh of relief and picked up the 3 pills. Looking at 3 pills, Yi Mo knew that he indeed didn't discover one more ingredient. It was quite possible that the Heaven Glory Pill that person gave him was fine, but Yi Mo shook his head. Even if he knew it was 99% fine, he didn't dare to eat it. He wasn't able to see what the terrifying existence did even if he did something to the pill. He was planning to concoct 6 pills but had only 3 formed in the end. Yimo was sure that even if this was the Heaven Glory pill, ordinary people wouldn't dare to eat it. He supplied spirit power with spirit crystals, and although the pill eventually formed, it lost some harmony. Even if this pill could let people ascend, it would injure them. Those a little weaker might even explode. At this moment, Yimo finally knew that the Heaven Glory pill had 5 main types of ingredients and he hadn't figured out the last one, but it was definitely not spirit crystal. But Yimo already knew what the purpose of that last ingredient was. It was to provide spirit power and harmonize the power of the pill. Yimo couldn't think of what this herb was, he didn't even find it on thing. But Yimo wasn't very disappointed. His Heaven Glory pill was indeed the right pill, but he just didn't dare to let anyone else eat it. He himself should probably be able to eat it though. Yimo packed away the cauldron and started to eat it. The pill turned into countless spirit liquids that instantly filled his meridians and dantian. Yimo felt that the pill liquid was very cool and was surprised. He thought that the pill wasn't very explosive. Without thinking too much, he started to use the 3 birth chant to digest the liquid. But as soon as he did, he started to shake. All his meridians turned from cool into a burning inferno. It was as though the next moment he would burn to ash from the inside out. If Yimo didn't use the 3 birth chant immediately, he might not even have had the chance to. The 3 birth chant made sure Yimo didn't faint, but his meridians started to crack and blood seeped out of his body. His ligaments were convulsing. Yimo had never been in such a bad state since he began his cultivation. He became a man of blood and could only hold onto that sliver of conscious. He knew that if he fell unconscious, he would be turned into ash. This pill was that volatile. But what agonized Yimo the most was that he was sitting on a spirit root. He didn't even need to absorb the spirit kai and it would go inside itself. This was like a firefighter fighting fire with oil. At this moment, Yimo finally understood how powerful his 3 birth chant was. His meridians were cracking, but his golden core was getting bigger and bigger, and his meridians were also healing at the same time too. Yimo didn't know how long it has been, but when there was no more pain in his body, that explosive spirit power rapidly turned into cultivation essence. Yimo could clearly feel his power increase dramatically. Chapter 982, Shocking Secret. Chapter 982, Shocking Secret. Yimo breathed out and stood up. He estimated that it had been a few days since he had eaten the pill. He was Golden Core State Level 3 and his cultivation essence was dense. He didn't have any feelings of discomfort. Not just that, he even felt that his meridians had expanded and become more durable. This was indeed one pill, one level. If this pill recipe was leaked, how much madness would it cause? Yimo didn't rest, he started to consolidate his power. 5 days later, he felt his power had completely consolidated and then he took out the remaining Heaven Glory pill. He stared at it for a long while before eventually deciding to keep eating. Clearly, he didn't want to experience that life and death pain again, but he knew that without power, perhaps what he would encounter next wouldn't just be pain, but death. Yimo closed his eyes and sat on the spirit root once again. He knew it was more dangerous, but without the spirit root, the power of the pill wouldn't be fully utilized. This time, Yimo was prepared and started using the 3 birth chant long before he felt pain. His meridians broke and repaired in a repetitive cycle. This time, Yimo didn't suffer as much as last time and reached Golden Core State Level 4. Although he reached Golden Core State Level 4, he felt the pill didn't seem to be as effective as last time. Even so, Yimo was very happy. He reached Golden Core State Middle Stage with just 2 pills. He had spent no more than 1 month in the Golden Page world. The guy didn't lie to him when he said that he could reach Golden Core State Peak Stage in half a year. Reaching Level 4, Yimo consolidated his power but didn't eat the last Heaven Glory pill. He cultivated using the Condense Red pill and started to study the 5th strike of Illusion Cloud and the Purple Eye Soul Sever. For the 5th strike, Yimo felt that if he could merge formations into his sword, then his Illusion Cloud 9 strikes would go up a level. Yimo kept testing and verifying, but he was always missing that little bit. After cultivating with Condense Red pills and spirit crystals for a month, Yemo's state completely stabilized. He didn't eat another Heaven Glory pill and left the Golden Page world instead. He wanted to kill some spirit beasts. He knew that the reason he far exceeded cultivators of the same level in combat capabilities was due to his constant fighting. Yemo left this island and found another island. There were no water weeds here, but there were quite some spirit beasts above level 3. There was even a level 5 two-headed crocodile. It was laying lazily on the beach and ignored Yemo's invasion, but after Yemo killed more than 10 level 3 and level 4 spirit beasts, it finally couldn't stay seated anymore. It roared and charged at Yemo, shooting out a dark ray towards Yemo by raising one of its head. If Yemo was in Golden Core State level 2, he might be interested in fighting with it, but now, he really wasn't interested in this level 5 middle stage crocodile. Yemo hacked with Z-Shu and wanted to test his incomplete illusion cloud 5th strike. The purple ray clashed with the dark ray of the crocodile. As the sound disappeared, Yemo was disappointed to find that his strike didn't do anything at all. The sword formation didn't activate. The only use was that it blocked the crocodile's attack. Yemo was disappointed, but so was the crocodile. It saw that its first move was blocked by a cultivator at a lower than it. It was furious and swept its huge body at Yemo. Clearly, he was waiting for Yemo to come down so it could attack again. Yemo lost the will to keep fighting, seeing that his 5th strike was incomplete. He just hacked out with Illusion Cloud Essence Binding Strike. The spirit beast clearly didn't expect that it would be instantly bound. Before it could even feel fear, it had lost a head to Yemo's reverse slice. The crocodile immediately charged towards the ocean. Yemo was just about to stop it when he felt an extreme sense of danger. Without thinking, he quickly kicked the crocodile head into the sea and found a place to hide. He felt 2 cultivation essence waves rapidly approaching. This was the deep sea and Yemo knew danger was around every corner. Just when Yemo hid himself and masked his Kai, the 2 cultivation essence waves arrived above the island. What shook Yemo was that he was familiar with one of the cultivation essence waves. Soon, he remembered it to be one of the people who got off from the low-grade cultivation artifact flying ship. It was a nascent soul state cultivator, but what shook Yemo was that the nascent soul state cultivator was the one running away from a chasing spirit beast. Yemo didn't dare to watch with his spirit sense at all. He focused on camouflaging himself. He suspected that he had already been found. Kai Hong, why did you go back on your words? Are you not afraid of our Merchant Association's revenge? That nascent soul state landed on the island knowing that there was no point in running. Yemo could tell that this nascent soul state cultivator was heavily injured. Then, he heard a coarse voice sneer, "Keep my words." "Bullshit, we agreed on sending 300 golden core state cultivators over, but you wanted to use those golden core state cultivator to start a rebellion. Luckily I was prepared too, or else you guys would have succeeded. How many times have I told you, their rebellion has nothing to do with us. I really don't know how they got the news," the nascent soul state cultivator said with annoyance. "Very well," the coarse voice said coldly. "Since it has nothing to do with you, why didn't you help me when they had the upper hand and instead tried to plunder? Does that have nothing to do with you too?" The nascent soul state cultivator was at a loss for words. He said after a while, "If we wanted to trick you, we wouldn't do it at this time. Why don't we wait till next time when we send over the nascent soul state cultivator and start the rebellion?" "Yeah," the spirit beast said in contempt. "Luckily you reminded me, dealing with you cultivators are like dealing with shrewd schemers. Luckily we didn't wait till the nascent soul state deal." Yemo was shaken. They were up to no good indeed. The Ao Cheng Merchant Association found some golden core states just so they could hand them over to the spirit beast for a deal. It was a pity that those golden core state cultivator had no idea at all. Although he didn't know for what reason that this was eventually exposed, Yemo rejoiced that he didn't listen to those 2 golden core state cultivators. If he did, he might not be able to get out alive. Ao Cheng Merchant Association, such a cruel and sinister merchant association. "Kai Hong, it's not the first time we've done deals like this. We did wrong to you this time. I'm willing to give you my storage ring. Please, on account of our many deals, let it go this time," the nascent soul state cultivator said. Let it go. You guys killed a level 6 brother of mine and you want me to let it go? Keep dreaming, Gu, die. Then, Yimo heard explosions. From their conversation, Yimo could tell that the nascent soul state cultivator really wanted to do business with the spirit beast, but it probably wasn't his fault that it didn't work out in the end. The spirit beast probably knew this too, but still wanted to kill the nascent soul state cultivator. There must be some other reason. Chapter 983, Befuddled by Money. Chapter 983, Befuddled by Money. Yimo could only listen and use neither spirit sense nor eyes to watch. The battle grew very intense and searing flames kept flying above his head. Sometimes, stones would strike him. At the start, Yimo thought his stealth was fine, but when those rocks and pebbles kept hitting him, he finally felt something was wrong. Both sides were nascent soul state tertiary stage and he was only in golden core state middle stage. If they didn't notice anything before, he could hide from them with 3 birth chant, but just from the rocks that kept hitting him, they would catch it with their spirit sense. Since both of them knew he was hiding here, what was the point of staying here? Thinking about this, Yimo was forced to expose himself and immediately fled, trying to dart into the ocean. Yimo was a decisive person, but just as he moved he heard that nascent soul state cultivator say, Zheng Yuan, attack. Yimo didn't know what this meant, but he knew it was nothing good. Immediately, he felt a strong blow hit the place where he had been hiding. It was blown to pieces. So close. Yimo thought. If he didn't predicted it beforehand and left half a second earlier, he would have been blown to pieces. Yimo already landed by the seaside and understood what had happened by now. When the nascent soul state cultivator and spirit beast arrived, they had already noticed where he was. After all, he had observed them with his spirit sense before hiding. Plus, there was the bloody smell of a 2-headed crocodile here. The remains of battle were also apparent on the scene. But these two pretended they didn't know. That nascent soul state cultivator wanted to use him too. The nascent soul state cultivator knew that the spirit beast knew he was hiding there and gradually shifted the battle over here. When he was behind the spirit beast, the nascent soul state cultivator suddenly attacked and called out the name Zheng Yuan. Because of this, the spirit beast thought he was ambushing him and was with the nascent soul state cultivator, so the spirit beast would attack him first. In fact, both of them succeeded. The nascent soul state cultivator made the spirit beast attack and the spirit beast attacked him first. If Yimo didn't already suspect that he was discovered, he wouldn't know what was going on even if he died. Even though Yimo already left the range of the attack beforehand, he still felt his kai roiling. 2 cunning bastards. Yimo wasn't in a rush now as he fell by the sea. The two were fighting, perhaps he could use it to his advantage. It was dangerous, but he wasn't the type to be used and suck it up. Finally, Yimo could observe that spirit beast. It was a level 6 one-horned flood dragon. However, it had 2 hands and looked very uncomfortable. As soon as the nascent soul state cultivator yelled attack, he spat blood and it soon turned into an eerie picture. That guy wanted to use this moment to use blood escape. He was smart, but the spirit beast wasn't dumb either. He attacked before the cultivator called out to attack, ignored Yimo and attacked the nascent soul state cultivator instead. The nascent soul state tertiary stage had already started using blood escape, but it wasn't completed. He only needed 1 or 2 more seconds. If he still kept committing to his blood escape while a level 6 spirit beast attacked him with full power, then he would be dead for sure. He took out a huge stamp-like magic artifact. After releasing it, it turned to the size of a mountain and clashed with the spirit beast. The nascent soul state cultivator stopped the attack but had to cancel the blood escape. The nascent soul state cultivator was clearly decisive, and before the spirit beast could attack again, he took out a dark bead and quickly cut off one of his arms. The arm turned into a bloody mist enveloping the bead, and at this moment, the spirit beast's attack came again. The mist and black bead happened to clash with the second attack. Rumble *, the terrifying sound shook the earth a few kilometers away. Yimo looked on and was amazed. He didn't know what that black bead was but was astonished it could release such power. Yimo noticed that the cultivator's face went extremely pale after using it, but he glared at Yimo before spitting out more essence blood. Although Yimo knew he was about to use essence blood again and this was the best time to ambush him, he was too far from the cultivator and he knew that although the nascent soul state cultivator was heavily injured, he could still kill him easily. Yimo noticed that the spirit beast was injured as well, but not as heavily injured as the nascent soul state cultivator. He had lost an arm as well. Both the spirit beast and nascent soul state cultivator were heavily injured, but he still wasn't able to beat them. This was the best opportunity to run. Without a thought, Yimo burst his cultivation essence and was about to run, but suddenly, he stopped. Yimo didn't choose the original direction and instead changed paths and grabbed something in mid-air before diving into the sea. Insect, you're asking to die. The spirit beast saw Yimo grab the object and couldn't care about his injuries nor the nascent soul state cultivator anymore. He flashed across towards Yimo but only caught his shadow. Insect, you took my storage ring and you still want to run from the sea? Keep dreaming. The flood dragon roared and charged into the sea. The nascent soul state cultivator heard this and was shaken. His blast did seem to blow off the spirit beast's arm, but how did that golden core state level 4 get it? Seeing Kai Hong chase into the sea, the nascent soul state cultivator was regretful. If he knew that Kai Hong wasn't going to chase him, why keep using the blood escape? He sighed in his heart at the same time. A golden core state level 4 cultivator dared to steal a level 6 spirit beast storage ring. Even he desired what was in Kai Hong's storage ring, but he knew that golden core state level 4 wouldn't be able to escape from Kai Hong. Regardless, his blood escape activated and he turned into a shadow of blood disappearing from this island. When Kai Hong chased into the sea, he stopped after a moment. He was worried because he had lost track of Yimo. How could a golden core state level 4 cultivator hide from him in the sea? His spirit sense had a range of a few hundred kilometers in the sea. He would be able to see the egg of a shrimp clearly, but that golden core state level 4 was gone. If he had only lost his arm, he could easily regenerate it with his wealth, but if he lost the storage ring, he lost everything. Yimo knew he did something stupid once he stole the arm. Although he could go into the golden page world, this was the heartless sea, the realm of the aquatic spirit beasts. His golden page world was like a golden light floating in the sea. It was very hard to trick that flood dragon. Yimo immediately realized that he was too greedy and unsatisfied that both nascent soul state guys used him. That's why he wanted to get something back. Suddenly, a group of rapid white fish dashed before the golden page world. This group of fish was in the 10,000s. Without thinking, Yimo controlled the golden page world to go into a fish's mouth. Despite this, Yimo was still unnerved. Chapter 984, Not Minding Your Own Business. Chapter 984, Not Minding Your Own Business. The golden page world left along with the school of fish. It was still within the range of Kai Hong's spirit sense range, but there were so many fish in the sea, he couldn't scan each one. Even a level 7 spirit beast wouldn't be able to check the insides of all the fish. Kai Hong would never expect that Yimo had something as powerful as the golden page world. That was its own realm. There was nothing in the cultivation realm like this. There were small pocket worlds, but nothing as powerful as the golden page world. Most pocket worlds were artificial, but Yimo's golden page world was born from chaos. No matter how powerful you were, even if you cultivated to be a god, you wouldn't be able to create something as powerful as the golden page world. So, Yimo was clearly worrying too much. Unless Kai Hong could find the golden light in this fish's stomach, he would never be able to find him. Yimo didn't dare to leave the golden page world, so he took out that spirit beast's arm and took a large storage ring from it before burning the arm. This storage ring was made differently from ordinary ones. He could also make some simple artifacts and storage rings, but the ones he made were the simplest and had very little space. This storage ring looked and was made differently. When Yimo sent his spirit sense inside, he could tell that there was a very strong spirit sense restriction in it. Yimo was sure that if he wasn't a formation and restriction master, he wouldn't be able to open the ring. Luckily it was him who got this ring. If someone else had taken it, it would be as if they had got nothing for them. Yimo started to remove the restriction bit by bit with his spirit sense. Even though he knew how to break it, it took him nearly 3 days. But when Yimo saw the football field-sized space, he was astonished, not because of the size but because it was the first time he saw a storage ring this wealthy. This was no storage ring, it was a warehouse. When he got the bandit storage ring, he was also shocked, but that was nothing compared to this. There were tall shelves placed tidily, the lowest level spirit herb was level 3. There were mountains of level 4 and level 5 herbs. He even saw a few hundred level 6 spirit herbs and 2 level 7 spirit herbs. What made Yimo rejoice was that he saw thousands of water weeds. After coming out of the plane of herbs, he realized that he had thought he knew what being wealthy meant, but he actually had no idea before now. Other than spirit herbs, there were about 50 million top-grade spirit stones. There were countless middle-grade spirit stones and all sorts of magic artifacts and spirit artifacts fully stacked on a shelf. Yimo believed that they were mostly taken from the human cultivators he killed. There were very few beast cores, only about 20. The lowest was a level 5 and the highest was a level 7. To Yimo, level 5 and above beast cores were priceless. Yimo's spirit sense reached the last white shelf. It had the fewest things, but Yimo felt this was the most precious shelf. The first thing that caught Yimo's eyes were 3 extreme-grade spirit stones. Beside it was a flame restricted by a seal. Snow essence flame? Yimo was shocked. It was one of the 36 rare flames of the cultivation realm. It was only ranked 15 though. However, it was the hardest flame to collect. It was a water-type flame like the purple flower flame. However, the flame was pure water element. Some pills needed water and fire to concoct, and this snow essence flame was the best choice. It was good indeed. Yimo was very happy and took it away. There were also 2 level 6 materials next to it, extreme blue gold and 1000-level spirit sand. Yimo was excited and at the same time sighed, a mere nascent soul state tertiary stage spirit beast had such wealth, what if he stole the storage ring of a hollow spirit state cultivator? But Yimo immediately thought of the black and white face and killed the thought. What Yimo didn't know was that Kai Hong's storage ring was a small warehouse and it just happened to be Kai Hong's turn to keep it, which was why Kai Hong hunted Yimo like crazy. If he lost the ring, there would be no good consequence for him. He was only one worker working under a level 7 spirit beast. Yimo put away the ring but still didn't dare to leave. He started cultivating, preparing to eat the 3rd heaven glory pill. Another month passed and Yimo reached golden core state level 5. He had lots of water weed and could continue concocting the heaven glory pill, but Yimo didn't want to eat anymore for now. The powering up was satisfying but the process was too terrifying. Yimo took out the 5-element mobility and made up his mind to study it. This was his main method of escape from now on. 5-element mobility was just a name, it wasn't actually 5 types of mobility. This was very easy to learn but hard to master. Even if you learned a little bit, your speed wouldn't be faster than using a magic artifact. It depended on your cultivation essence, spirit sense, and your understanding of the technique. It had 7 levels, but without a strong spirit sense and cultivation essence, you might never get past level 1. Even if you had powerful spirit sense and cultivation essence, without adequate understanding you would never reach level 2. Yimo cultivated the 3 birth chant, so his understanding was unparalleled. He reached level 1 on the first day. Time passed quickly in cultivation and soon 2 months had passed. He couldn't keep hiding in the golden page world. He had left for half a year and acquired a lot, but he wanted to go back and check on Mo Yu. Yimo couldn't control the golden page world to leave the mouth of the fish, so he could only say sorry to that fish and left the golden page world. But when he came out, it was very dark. He scanned his spirit sense out and saw that he was in the belly of a whale. Clearly, that white fish had already been eaten. Well, he could finally get revenge for the white fish that saved his life. Yimo released Zishu and a gash was opened from inside of the whale's body. Yimo came out from the whale's back and took a shower in the sea water before standing on top of the water. He was speechless to find that as soon as he came out, he saw another fight between 2 cultivators. But this time, it was 1 golden core state level 9 and 1 level 8. The Golden Core State Level 8 was in danger and was about to be killed. At that moment, the Golden Core State Level 8 saw Yimo suddenly appear and said, "Dao friend, please send news back. Ao Cheng Merchant Association conspired with Spirit Beast to trick Golden Core State cultivators to go out in the sea and hand them over to Spirit Beasts. You're asking to die." The Golden Core State Level 9 attacked even harder. The Golden Core State Level 8 was hit by a white jade ring and spat out more blood, but he still yelled, "Hurry and leave, bring the news back. Otherwise, you'll be next after he kills me." Yimo wasn't going to meddle in the business of others, but this involved the Ao Cheng Merchant Association, who Yimo was very annoyed with. Thinking about this, Yimo released Zishu. It brought a long purple ray and passed a few kilometers above the head of that Golden Core State Level 9. Even the Golden Core State Level 9 didn't expect that a Golden Core State Level 5 would refuse to run and come up to suicide instead. Chapter 985, News of Mo Yu. Chapter 985, News of Mo Yu. There are really still heroes in this world. That Golden Core State Level 8 forgot about his situation and looked in a daze at the sword ray. He shivered at the sight of such a quick sword ray. Insolent. The Golden Core State Level 9 sneered and was about to release his white ring again, but he felt his cultivation essence slow down. He couldn't completely activate his white ring. What was going on? The Golden Core State Level 9 just wanted to run and immediately realized that his cultivation essence had been bound. He was shaken and broke out in a cold sweat. He knew the consequence of this too well. If the second strike arrived before he broke free, he would be dead for sure. He couldn't underestimate this Golden Core State Level 6 anymore. He burned 3 mouthfuls of essence blood and barely broke free. This Golden Core State was definitely not only Level 5, the Golden Core State Level 9 realized, and he turned to run. If he kept fighting with Yimo, he might have had a chance to run, but as soon as he ran, that sliver of a chance was gone. The second strike swept over the heavens at him. He could barely release the ring to block it and was encapsulated by the sword rays. The storage ring fell into Yimo's hand, who then looked back at the dumbfounded Golden Core State Level 8. The Golden Core State Level 8's eyes were wide open. From such a distance, Yimo finished off a Golden Core State Level 9 with 2 strikes. Even though the Golden Core State Level 9 already fought with him, he shouldn't have been killed in 2 strikes. This was too absurd. Was Yimo Golden Core State Peak Stage? But even Golden Core State Peak Stage cultivators shouldn't be able to do that. In reality, the Golden Core State Level 9 was too terrified of Yimo fighting with a cultivator that could bind his cultivation essence, was like suicide. If he didn't feel fear and run away immediately after breaking free, Yimo would need to spend some time fighting before he could beat him. If Yimo didn't lay down any formations during the meantime, he could even run away. But he was too scared of death and lost the will to fight after the first strike. "You're a Golden Core State Peak Stage, Qianbei?" The Golden Core State Level 8 was dazed for a long time before blurting out. Yimo smiled and asked, "Where is this? How far are we from Peihai City?" The Golden Core State Level 8 just realized that he had been saved and bowed to Yimo and said, "Wnbei Li Chishan, thank you for saving me, Qianbei. Peihai City isn't far from here. 10,000 kilometers east lies the Peiqi Island. The shameless Ao Cheng Merchant Association conspired with Spirit Beasts and tricked Golden Core State cultivators to go out and die. I must expose this, Qianbei. I'll be leaving first. After I do this, I will come and thank Qianbei." Yimo nodded. Li Chishan didn't know if he would live or die, that's why he said he would come back and thank him later. Yimo quite approved of this Li Chishan. He saw that Li Chishan was about to leave and stopped him. He took out the white ring and gave it to him. "This middle-grade spirit artifact is not bad, it's yours. If you don't have a place to go, you can come find me in Peihai City. I'm Yimo, I'm staying at Mo Yu." "Okay." Li Chishan didn't reject and disappeared after taking the ring. He had been in the deep sea for a while but hadn't heard of Mo Yu. He thought it was just a small place. Yimo headed towards Peiqi Island. If he got there, he would know which direction to go. Yimo crossed 10,000 kilometers quickly. The island was densely populated, making Yimo feel that this was no island but an island city. Yimo wanted to get some news about Peihai City and go back there through the teleportation formation. As soon as he got here, he heard the exciting news that South Peace State, North Far State, and East Black State were setting up intercontinental teleportation formations. He was planning to get a huge cultivation artifact flying ship after reaching Hollow Spirit State and taking everyone to South Peace State, but for now, this was heavenly news. Yimo wasn't even planning to go into that small bar, but upon hearing this news, he walked in. The few Foundation Establishment State cultivators who had been talking didn't even realize that Yimo came here due to overhearing their conversation. Yimo knew that if he showed his Golden Core State power, these Golden Core State cultivators would be more vigilant, so he showed his power to be Foundation Establishment State Level 5. Dao friends, I'm Yimo, I've been cultivating in the deep sea. I just heard you guys talking about the teleportation formation. Is it true? Yimo walked over and saluted with his fists. There were 3 cultivators at the table, one black-clothed man at Foundation Establishment State Level 9, an honest-looking youth to his right who was Foundation Establishment State Level 7, and a female cultivator who was Curvaceous and Golden Core State Level 8. Yimo's sudden appearance surprised them, but when they saw that Yimo was only Foundation Establishment State Level 5, they didn't feel so vigilant. The female cultivator smiled sweetly. Little brother, have a seat, what we said is true. You haven't been back to Pei Chi Island, is that why you haven't heard about it? Yimo nodded in shame. Yes, I just came back from an adventure. I was very shocked at this news. Sigh, even if we want to go out for adventure, it would be hard. The nearby islands have been swept clean by spirit beasts. There are so many cultivators on this island because they have nowhere to go now. Some Golden Core State Qianbeis were organizing squads to go into the deep sea, but those people haven't been back since. After all, it takes longer to go into deep sea. We're too weak to go there, the honest-looking youth said, sighing. The black-clothed cultivator said, I heard some Golden Core States hired Ao Cheng Merchant Association's ship to go into the deep sea. I wonder if they have succeeded. Yimo wasn't here to discuss this, he smiled and said, I also heard that these Golden Core State cultivators were organized by the Ao Cheng Merchant Association, but they're not out there to cast away spirit beasts. The Merchant Association organized them to deal with spirit beasts. Their goal is to trick them to join them and then sell them to the spirit beasts. Before Yimo could finish, that female cultivator quickly stopped Yimo and looked around carefully. Little brother, do you not want to live? How dare you say these sorts of things? There are people from Ao Cheng Merchant Association everywhere. If they hear you, you will die for sure, and we will also be involved. Yimo knew this was true and smiled. Okay, let's not discuss this. How far is that North Far State teleportation formation? The female cultivator quickly said, it's located in Peihai City. I heard a few Truth Realization State cultivators came to set it up and there are more Disaster Transformation State cultivators. By the way, have you heard of Mo Yu? They're the biggest merchant association in Peihai City because it's said that they're closely related to a Disaster Transformation State formation master who came. Yimo was shocked. He knew everyone who was in Mo Yu. Since when were they connected to a Disaster Transformation State cultivator? How come he didn't know? Yimo immediately said, I know Mo Yu, but they're a new merchant association. How can they be associated with a Disaster Transformation State formation master? The female cultivator got more into the conversation. Everyone from Mo Yu are business geniuses, and in just 2 months, they became the #1 merchant association. But because of this, they offended the previous largest merchant association, Yangtze Merchant Association. Yimo began to worry. Yangtze Merchant Association wasn't an entity that Mo Yu could mess with. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.